that we are going to learn by reason of being here is going to be impactful on our lives in Jesus' name. In Jesus' name, I pray.
Thank you. Round of applause for this guy, man. Round of applause. Yeah. All right. So. Okay. Right about now, we would like to welcome the yearly president, okay, person of Mr. Godwin Philip, to come and give us welcoming speech. Yeah, to welcome us to this program, Blockchain Technology and Decentralized Finance. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you so much. My name is Philip Nell Gideon, not Godwin, please. But I always win because I have God. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'd like us to introduce ourselves before I start, so I know who I'm talking to.
God's praise, honor and miracle.
Israel Ajenu.
Ebuka Honor.
Miracle.
I'm Favor Peter. I'm Wisdom.
I'm Adetola Esther. Bitola Esther. Tola. Bitola.
I'm Oyoma Ojadona. Uyuma.
Welcome, everybody. You're my boss now. You don't need to introduce. Firstly, I want to appreciate everyone for coming. It's nice having you guys around. So I want to thank Director for this Windows, who is not readily available now. He has some appointments. And I want to also thank everyone who has been part of the planning process of this program. I've not been fully around. I traveled to on Sunday. I came back yesterday because of this program. So I want to thank our daddy here, Daddy Fluff. I'd like you to give him a round of applause. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can we put volume? He didn't hear that clap. He has been so helpful, and with the venue, with the planning process. I'd like you to, if you can stand up and clap for him. He's our Daddy Shofu. Please. He's been so helpful. Thank you. You can hardly feel it that I'm not around. I always tell him he's my boss. I'm just the face. You know, just the way Buhari is the face of Nigeria. But there are other persons piloting the affairs. That's how he is. So I like to appreciate him. And also the Fine Tech? Fine Smart, Abi? Our daddy. He's my big boss, so I'm looking up to him, and he's been so helpful. He's also a yearly member. Help us give him a round of applause too. Okay, briefly, how many of us have heard about Yali here? If you've heard about Yali, let me see your hands. Okay, I'll tell us briefly about Yali and just go on. This program is in partnership with Yali and FinSmart, and of course for the venue, those states, the City Windows on America. Yali means the Young African Leaders Initiative. Somebody say the Young African Leaders Initiative. So when you hear that, what comes to your mind? It's an initiative for leaders, yeah? And now, if I ask you, can you be part of it? You will tell me no, because I'm not a leader. If I tell you you want to be part of it, now what will you say? You say, I'm not a leader, yeah? But the truth of the matter is, we are all leaders, yeah? There are two types of leaders. It's either you're a good leader or you're a bad leader, but you are a leader. Everybody is a leader. Do you understand? So what we do in Yali is basically groom us to become good leaders. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? So online, there are different courses you could do that will groom you in the Yali network websites. But then after doing those courses, you are issued certificates. But then you have to identify with a hub closest to you. And that's why we have the Edo State Hub. So I believe after this meeting, you guys will automatically become Yali members. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Okay, in Edo States, let me narrow it down to Edo States. We do basically youth and community development. We develop youth and community in every way. My daddy will always say, those that are ready to win. If you know you don't want to win here, raise up your hand. Everybody wants to win. In one way or the other, you want to win. In your academic, you want to win. In your business, you want to win. In your career, you want to win, yeah? So it's basically a space for anybody who wants to win and who wants to contribute their quota to their community. So it's also a place where, like I said, contribute your quota to the community. This period now, so many of us are pursuing JAPA, want to JAPA from it. But then if you go for this visa interviews, they ask you, how have you contributed to your community? I have so many persons asking for recommendation letters from Yali, but then they've not done what they are supposed to do. So can I issue that person a recommendation letter? So, if you want to contribute your quota to the community, we have different projects. We have entrepreneurship projects. Yearly, we have a community development project whereby we choose a particular community and we do one or two things in that community to develop that community and improve the life of those individuals in that community. Are we following? Even for this upcoming 2023 election now that I feel is overhyped, but then we are contributing our quota to it, which we have a campaign for, Go Register campaign. How many of us have heard about Go Register? Go Register is a campaign to educate voters, to educate the citizens who have this mindset that they don't need to vote, to get their PVC and vote. We are non-political. We don't tell you who to vote for. We just want you to participate in the election. Do we understand? We just want you to participate in the election. We're not telling you who to vote for and who not to vote for. We just want you to participate in the election. And we've been to, we carried out research. We discovered that so many persons registered, even have their PVC, but don't vote. And we got to discover that because how many of us know Uredu local government? Uredu and Igo. You know, most of these places are how do I put it, commercial area. And most of them come to the shop, and from there they register, they get their voters card. But when they have to vote, they are in their house. Some of them stay in GRA. Then how do you move from GRA to Igo to vote on that day? Do you understand? So we discovered that, okay, what do we do? Let's apply for transfer for these persons. But at the time they were registering, they didn't put to thoughts how they will vote. They just want to get the voters card. When I went to register for my voters card, I registered because I wanted to use it to open an account in the bank myself. But I have voted though, but not like I should have. But with the education that I have now and the experience, of course, I will vote, always vote from now on. And we've had so many encounters on the feed. We met a woman who, I hope I'm not boring us with this story. We met a woman who, on the feed, has been voting. She's 68 years old. As at the time we met her last year, she's 68 years old. And I got talking with her. She sells Gary. She sells Gary in the market. And I got talking with her. And I discovered that she lost her husband in an election. And she has been voting since she come of age. You understand? And she will tell you in her own words, I've been voting for change. I've been voting for change, but I have not seen this change. Trust me, that project was a hitch-up because I'm telling you to vote, and the reason you don't want to vote is just by my side. Do you understand that statement? I go to the market and I tell you, ma, why are you not voting? Please come out and vote on election day. And you're asking me, when last did you buy that Gari? How much did you buy it? You get it? The reason you are telling me you don't want to vote is just by my side. So how do I convince you? So, and she told us about her daughter who she struggled after she lost her husband to send to the university with the hope of getting a job after graduating. Of course, that's also your wrong mindset, which you also need to correct. But then now the daughter has graduated, but because they started with the wrong mindset, there's no job anywhere. The daughter has to fall back to the market and continue selling garri with her. So in the next 2023 elections, she's telling us wholeheartedly that I am not coming out to vote. So how do I convince this woman? Like I said, we are Youth and Community Development Initiative. We told her, where is your daughter? She called the daughter. This woman goes around with the daughter's CD. Like everywhere she goes to, I don't know what they call this, where they keep money. She has her daughter's CD with it. So we asked for it, and Mr. Vaughn, who will join us later, published it on Facebook, and we did advocacy for that lady, and she got a job. So we are doing every day yearly to better the life of youths. This is also part of what we do. Blockchain is the future. Blockchain is the future, whether we like it or not. Blockchain. So before now, if you tell me blockchain, what comes to my mind is Bitcoin. But then with the little time I've spent with Tumishe, I've discovered that
Yes, sir. Focus you. Even the person when that one of my contract I was supposed to build, that was it was the one I even asked some stuff, but the guy never come back to Nigeria. So
I
just
discovered that crypto was just
I said no.
And
if you can't show me personally, people will see me.
So if we say we are the leaders of tomorrow, we have to go ahead. We understand? We have to go ahead. Facebook started just very small. Nobody knew that Facebook. How Facebook started. Just classmates. Let's create something like a WhatsApp group where all of us can just communicate and we ask questions. That's how Facebook started. And Facebook is all over the world today. And blockchain is coming now. We have to key into it. So when he approached me for the partnership, I was very happy and I was like, okay, let's carry this up. And we carried it up. We applied for this venue. I wanted to give you guys a very conducive venue. If not, we could have just used our workstation, which we don't need to apply for. And wanted to give you guys a conducive venue and so you can relax and enjoy yourself while you learn. Have you been enjoying yourself? Have you been enjoying yourself? Okay. Another thing is we also do health outreaches in Yali. We also do health outreaches. We go to a particular community and we identify the need of that community. And we can't solve everything. What we need to understand as social actors is that we can't solve every problem. We just need to contribute our quota and leave. And contributing our quota should be measured. Before you carry out your intervention, you have to know, okay, this is, before I started, this is how it was. After my intervention, this is how it has improved. Are we following? So I'm employing you guys after this training, join us in Yali. And you will never regret you did it. How many of us will join us? You are part of us now. So. All right. Some places are not raising up their hand. How many of us will join us? We don't see. Okay, let me clear your doubts now. We don't pay money in Yali. We don't pay 1 naira. We don't pay 1 naira. It's so sad. For you to join is free. What we need from you is just your commitment. Sure, we say just show up. Just show up. So we're not telling you to come and pay money. How many of us will join? It's like some people want to pay money. Because when I haven't said that we will not pay money, the hands up were more than this. Now that I say we won't pay money, the hands now are reduced. How many of us will join Yali? Okay, you're welcome. We hold our meetings every third Sunday, face-to-face meetings every third Sunday. We already have a brief for this year, all our programs for this year. Okay, we already have all our programs set for this year. for this month, the third Sunday, which is after this Sunday, the coming Sunday is our face-to-face meeting. You can join us. We have a Telegram page. How many of us are on Telegram? Just search now, Yali Network Edu. Please just do that now. Yali Network Edu. You have Telegram now. You're not bringing out your phone. Can you join? Please join, so you can get information on what's happening in Yali. Okay, thank you. The Telegram WhatsApp, the Telegram group, sorry, Telegram group is for the general public, because the WhatsApp group is a little bit tight, and recently we are even trying to beat it down because some persons left Benin and are taking spaces, and some of us here want to be in the WhatsApp group. And for you to be a full member of Yali, for you to recognize you as a full member of Yali, you need to have attended our face-to-face meeting 3 consecutive times. So we are sure that you are committed. So we are sure that you always show up. And for you to remain a member of Yali, you need to show up at least for 3 consecutive meetings. So if you miss 3 consecutive meetings, we assume that you are no longer a Yali member. We are leaders. Leaders are disciplined people. We believe we are grooming you for the outward. So we should be able to groom you in a way that we can discipline you. You can also discipline yourself to always show up. I told you I've been on the feed since on Sunday till yesterday. Some persons are still on the feed, but I left because of this program. So that's discipline. I'm supposed to be there, I'm supposed to be there, but then I can't be there at the same time. So I just know I have to be there till this time. And I was supposed to leave this morning, but I know I won't be able to meet up. From here to the field is about 2 hours journey. So what time will I leave there? What time will I get here? I will get here a bit late. So that's why I left yesterday, and that's discipline. And that's what we are trying to do in Yali. All right, so I want to welcome you guys once again. Sit and enjoy yourself. I hope I didn't bore you guys with this story. Okay, thank you so much. Enjoy yourself. How many of us are with our writing materials? You will have a lot to write today. You have a question, sir? Okay. The time and the location for the meeting. Sometimes we use our workstation, just this Benin City Film Academy, this Benin Film Academy here, just opposite this building. Sometimes we use that space, and sometimes it depends on the events we are holding. We carry out different events for the face-to-face meetings. So these events determine the venue that we use. Like I said, we always put in mind your comfortability, just like we did in this program. You understand? So the events we are holding determine the venue we'll be using. So the one for this month has not been confirmed yet. That's why I didn't mention it. But then sometimes we use this place. Most of the times we use this place. You understand? Okay, so if you have joined the Telegram group, you always get the information there. All right. Thank you. Let's clap for ourselves once again. And if you also have a friend that is on the way that is, or who is not on the way that is supposed to be here, you can still remind that person and say you have a lot to lose. I've rounded up. I'm done. I'm already buying them up. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Round of applause for our Mr. Gideon Philip, Yali president. Please clap, 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 clap. Yeah. Nice. Okay, now we are going to introduce, he talked about blockchain. Well, you should just know that blockchain is actually the future. In blockchain, it's more like it's a space where you can actually develop things, you introduce new skills, you innovate the existing things, you make things life more easier. Thanks to City Windows in America, they actually just help us for this panel because they believe in us and we are the future. We are the leaders of tomorrow. So if you become leaders, when we become leaders, we bring this experience we're going to get from this class now, we bring it into existence and in our leadership position, then life becomes easier. So you guys should just pay more attention to what you're going to learn today. Feel like you're jotting pads, just feel all right. Okay, so right now we introduce the FinSmart team. Okay, round of applause, guys, please. This thing, the team behind the brain of the knowledge you're going to get today, team organizing it and everything. Okay. First will be our chief, the founder of PinSmart, the person of Mr. It's called itself Apostle of Finance, Mr. Tumishi Olaoluwa. Please, sir, come on stage. Then we have the next person, our blockchain dev. We have Paul Ablaze. He calls himself Ablaze. That guy is the airdrop lord. So please come to the stage. Then we have our other man, Mr. Wizzy, to the stage. Yeah, thank you. Then we have our new recruit, then our Mr. Fine Boy. Your name is okay. Come on, step on stage. Yeah, it's my team. Okay. Under preparation. Then the next person is my uncle self of Yahweh Endurance. So we are the FISMA team. My name is also Maestro Eddie. That's popularly known as Maestro Eddie. So anything you have to say, sir?
All right, thank you very much for being here. So today's training is actually going to be very thorough. So we're not just here to give you, you know, them say, you understand? So you want to actually take notes, pay attention. You also want to connect with the speakers, the guests, you know, because some of you from here can build a career in the blockchain. Yeah. Like you see, he works with PEP protocol. You know, PEP protocol is one of a leading DEX exchange, okay? And many of us is a developer with the on the Algorand blockchain. So a lot of career opportunities can come up, you know, and get more interest. So today and tomorrow, you're going to get thorough knowledge about the blockchain space. Please do pay attention. Thank you very much.
Mr. Wiz, do you have anything to say? All right, Mr. Blaze. All right, thank you so much. Round of applause for them as they return to the seats. Okay, in few minutes, I just want you guys, okay, I believe most of you are on Twitter now. You're on Twitter. Just go to your Twitter page. It might be a giveaway later on. Please have the most likes. All right, so go to your Twitter page. Take a picture. Yeah, take a picture. You can take with your friends. You can take with me. Just take a picture. Then, all right. Tag Yali Network Edu. Tag Yali Network Edu, your Twitter. Tag Fismart Commune at Fismart Commune. Take a picture. Very important. At Fismart Commune, Yali Network Edu. Hashtag DeFi, Decentralized Finance. Then blockchain technology. Okay. So just do that quick before we call on our next guest. Okay. Do that quick. Take a picture. You can take with me. Yeah. I'm fine. I know. Just come and snap with me. All right. So yes, very quickly. Follow us on Twitter. Did you get it? Fismart Commune. Fismart Commune at Fismart Commune at Yali Network Edu. Is written here. Okay. At Yali Network Edu at Fismart Commune. Yes. At Fismart Commune. FIN. Fins. Like financial smart. Just fin. Smart. Yeah. Or you just search Fismart Community. Okay, yeah. How to get. Okay. If you've done it, just say done. Just joining us. Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. Welcome to the future blockchain industry. Yeah, okay. So go on your Twitter page. Just write Fismart. Take a picture. Hashtag Fismart Community at Fismart Commune at Yali Network Edu. Yeah, just do that quickly. Blockchain technology, DeFi, Decentralized Finance. Okay. I'll check the highest likes, highest retweets. You get to give away. Okay, yeah, I can see them. Sure. Just do that. Okay. We check them and we'll see the highest retweets, highest likes. So very quickly, I think the next on our agenda is going to be the reason why you are here, to get wonderful knowledge on the blockchain space. Okay. So this is a flyer. You can just take a picture. You can take this instead. So you're going to get a wonderful knowledge. Amazing. As you then start making money like we are making money. Okay. All right. So real quick, I'd like to welcome the Apostle of Finance to come and give us knowledge on blockchain. Please, round of applause for this guy. He's my mentor. He's my leader. Please, round of applause. Jot this down. You can record the session. It's very important. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Maestro. Okay, I don't know. Can I get the slides? Thank you. Yes, so today we'll be starting with introduction to the blockchain. Introduction to the blockchain. So I'm waiting for my slide to come up. All right, so I'm sure many of us have heard of the word blockchain, right? Have you heard of the word blockchain, right? So, and I'm sure that at first it looks like a vague word. You are just asking, what's the meaning of blockchain? And then you've always had crypto. Literally everybody around you are only into crypto because they want to make money, and they are saying, oh, price will jump up. And some persons will say, my money just got burned, right? So that's why we want to understand the technology that is driving the cryptocurrency market. So there's a technology driving the crypto market, right? Or the crypto itself. So it's this technology we want to understand now. So let's now take this word blockchain. Let's divide it into two. Block, right? And what? And chain. Okay. Now, when we say block, what comes to your mind?
Like a...
What comes to your mind, sir? When you say block,
Sets of building, different sets.
okay, different sets of, that those blocks they use in making house, right? So when we say chain, what comes to your mind, sir? Chain. He said chain. Okay, so you see the chain in my hand now, this bracelet. So you can see how connected it is, right? So which means they are all dependent on one another, right? So this chain now cannot hold themselves, like they have to be together to stay together, right? Now, and the next one is dependent on the first one. So if you remove the first one from the one that is attached to it, what happens to the chain? It breaks, right? Good. Now, that is just a perfect analogy for blockchain. So it's just like, let's say this place, this is an AC, right? And then another AC is attached to it, right? In a line of chains, okay? Now, which means you cannot detach the one that is connected to the other. Are you getting me now? So, in blockchain, this is, what's your name? God's praise. What's your name, ma? Esther. What's your name, sir? Oyoma. Now, it's an analogy. So in Africa, if I say I chain them together, you say, but then, that's just an analogy. So I chain him to her. So this is God's praise, right? So what's his name? He's a data. He's a what? Do you register? And you know that when we say God's praise, who we answer? That's his data, right? So we are taking God's praise as a data now. And we are now attaching him. So God's praise now as a data is a block. Do you understand? we're now attaching God's chain, God's chain, God's praise to Esther, right? Now she is Esther. That's our identity. That's our data, right? Now we are now attaching God's praise to Esther. Okay? So we now have God's praise Esther. God's praise what? Now we now attach God's praise Esther to Oyoma. We now have what? God's praise Esther Oyoma. Right? So if we have those three together, and the three of them are depending on themselves. So there is no way you will call God's praise. You will say God's praise Esther Oyoma. So if every one of us understands that these three names, they are attached together, right? The three of them are blocked in a chain. Okay. Now, if I detach Oyoma away and I tell you God's praise Esther, you say, where is what? Where is what? So now the three of them are data attached together, right? So when one is detached, it is obvious to everybody that no now can three be joined together. So because we join the three of them together now, everybody have it at the back of our mind that God's praise, Esther and Oyoma are together, right? So detaching Oyoma we call for what? Question. Are you getting me now? Now let's now take it this way. And an information is given to him, right? A. Information A. Now, and Esther now joins in, and our own will now become AB. Now, that means in Esther as a block, he exists in her. Yes, he exists in her. A is in B. So Esther becomes what? AB, right? Then Oyoma is now C. Now wants to join with them. Oyoma would now have a data containing God's praise, which is A, Esther, which is B, and Oyoma will have the three datas, right? So which means in Oyoma is the previous datas, the previous existing datas. God's praise is the Genesis chain, right? Because he is the one that the information started with. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Now, that is the definition of blockchain. Do you understand blockchain now? Do you understand blockchain now? You understand it very well now? That's just it. So let's proceed. So, what is blockchain? You can see blockchain as a database. A what? That is replicated a number of times. That is what? Replicated what? Replicated in the sense that in praise is what? Is God's time. God's praise. In Esther is God's praise. So in B is A, right? It's replicated a number of times that has some additional consensus and what? Immutability. Consensus means that it has been agreed that Esther should be changed to what? God's praise. And when Oyoma came in, it has been agreed, that's the consensus there, that Oyoma should be changed with what? God's praise, Esther, and what? Oyoma himself. Do you get it now? Now, the immutability there is that it cannot be changed once we join them together, right? And it's open to everybody. The moment Oyoma is detached, it will be obvious that something is me. That is blockchain, right? So I come again. You can see blockchain as a database that is replicated a number of times and has some additional consensus and immutability. Now, what is database? A database is an organized collection of structured information. Now, is the information structured? Because it is there's what we call it is chronological. Do you know what I mean now? It comes before another. So there cannot be A, there can be A before B, but there cannot be what? B before A. Do you understand? A database is an organized collection of what structured information or data, typically stored electronically in a computer system. Now, what is consensus? Consensus, a general agreement. A what? So if we say, oh, should we do giveaway? No, consensus. Now, so everybody agree that we should not do giveaway. That's it. Now, what is immutability? Immutability means what? On chain, it's not changeable. Okay. Now, we now have what we call a node, right? A node. How many of us have a phone here? Everybody have a phone here. Can you bring out your phone? Your phone is a node. The phone is a what? A node. So we can say your phone is a partial node. A partial what? So nodes can be any kind of device, usually computers, laptops, servers, a device or software that provides services to other computers or clients, right? So your phone is a node. Your system is a node, right? Because you store information on it, yes or no? You store messages, stuff, different things on it, video, everything on it. It is a node. Since blockchain consists of numerous blocks or data, these blocks are stored on what? They are stored on devices. They are stored on your phone. They are stored on your system. They are stored on your computers and laptops. Okay? Now, these blocks are stored on nodes that can be compared to smaller server. The nodes actually stores, spread, and preserve a blockchain data, and it can be said that the blockchain exists on a node. So blockchain exists on what? A node. Blockchain exists on servers, right? Blockchain exists on computers. Okay. Now, to understand nodes better, it is important to know the critical function that they perform. Now, classifying the blockchain network. Now we want to classify the blockchain network. So the blockchain network can be classified into two different types. There are more, right? But we'll explore them as we go. We have permissionless and permissioned blockchain. All right. Now, from the literary meaning of permission, what does that mean? How if something is permissioned? Can't not ask. When someone says something is permissionless, what does it mean? No, permissionless, unlimited access, no access, and like no restriction. Do you know what I'm saying now? So now we have permissionless and permissioned blockchain. Permissionless blockchain are blockchains that has no restriction to any of the users. So you can use it, I can use it. Okay? One of the perfect example of a permissionless blockchain is Bitcoin. Is what? That's it. So you can use Bitcoin, I can use Bitcoin. Permissionless. It is not restricted to a certain persons. Do you get it now? Now, permissioned blockchain are blockchains that are restricted to a set of persons. So the Windows, this is what we have now, is the new Windows on America, right? The Windows can decide to have a blockchain server, right? But this blockchain server would only be permissioned, right, to stakeholders in this organization, right? But you and I cannot just access it, except we are permitted to what? Access it. I don't know if I'm following. I don't know if you are following. So permissioned blockchain, now you have to be given access to it. So permissioned blockchain are only used by organizations. So if you run an NGO, you have a company and all those things, you can set your server on permissioned blockchain. So it will only be the staff members or the board members or selected persons that would have access to that information, to the database, right, to the server that is on the permissioned blockchain, right? Then the permissionless is open to anybody, open. Now, we have a diagram here, a Venn diagram, where we say this is permissionless blockchain, is interdependent on, there is also an intermediary between the permissionless blockchain and the permissioned blockchain. So the permissionless blockchain is a public blockchain. The what? No central authority is public, while the permission controlled by one authority. So imagine, like I said, if this place was to be a database on the blockchain, they can go with what? The private blockchain. And one person will only have the authority on the server. They can also go with the Consortium Blockchain, by a group of persons who really want to have access to the server, right? But a system or an organization that is now using both permissionless and permissioned blockchain is called what? Hybrid, right? An hybrid blockchain is both open source and what? Restricted, right? Now, these are the core fundamentals of the cryptocurrencies that we see people buying now. If you understand what we're talking about here, you'll be able to know, how to go about cryptocurrencies, possibly investing in them or owning one of them. Okay. Next slide. Okay. Now, types of blockchain. Types of blockchain. One, we have the public blockchain, right? The public blockchain. Like I explained earlier, the public blockchain are permissionless in nature. It allows anyone to join and are completely decentralized. Are completely what? All nodes have access, equal access, right? So with your phone, you can access a public blockchain. All right. Now, the second one is private or managed blockchain. Private blockchains are permissioned blockchains controlled by a single organization. Controlled by what? A single organization. Number 3, consortium blockchain. Consortium blockchain. Consortium blockchain are a blockchain network where the consensus process are closely controlled by selected set of nodes or group of persons. And lastly, we have the hybrid blockchain. The hybrid blockchain is a mix of the permission and the permissionless blockchain. Identities on the blockchain. I hope I'm not too fast. I hope I'm not too fast. I'm fast also. So, identities on the blockchain. Now, what is decentralized identity? Decentralized identity is a trust framework in which identifiers such as users can be replaced with IDs that are self-owned, independent, an enabled data exchange using blockchain and distributed ledger technology to protect privacy and secure transaction. Now, what does this mean? One thing the blockchain enables is a decentralized identity. A decentralized identity in the sense that you can carry out transactions without anybody knowing that you are the one specifically carrying out the transactions, right? Because it would your information would be in form of an ID, right? Your information will be in form of an ID. It is that ID that you can use in carrying out transactions, carrying out storing data on the blockchain without it having your name explicitly, your email, your data, your family name, and all that, like the one that Google and some other companies will ask you for the details of everything before you can open an account or whatever. So on the blockchain, there is decentralized identity. That's on a public blockchain, not on a permission blockchain. On a permission blockchain, it's controlled by set of persons, so they can require you get, for an ID and all that. But on a permissionless blockchain, your ID, your username, all those things are replaced with ID. Okay, so most of the time, transactions might be taking place. The only thing that will be identified is that they will just know that information and data is moving from this ID to this ID. They won't know that it is, what's the name? Esther, that is sending an information to Israel. Do you get it now? Now, this stuff was used in the Second World War, was 1943. Yes, 1943 to 1945. That was Second World War. So the Germans used it, right? You won't know, you won't be able to interpret the information, right? These IDs can be in form of mixed letters and numbers, right? So it's more or less like saying, an information saying the bomb is behind the AC, right? But the information would not go as a plain English, okay? The information will go as something like XYZI123, you get. Only the receiver would be able to interpret that this was what was encoded into, they call it encrypting and decrypting. So the sender would encrypt the information. Whoever is reading it will not see it, will not understand it. It is the receiver that will now decrypt it and understand it. That is decentralized identity. That's what the blockchain also obtains. Decentralized identity. Okay? Why do we need blockchain for identity? Blockchain identity management system could be used to eradicate current identity issues, such as inaccessibility, data insecurity, fraudulent identities. All right? Because, data insecurity, some persons will use your data to track you, right? For persons who use iPhone, right? If you turn on your Find Me, there is this feature called Find Me. If you turn on your Find Me, anybody on your contact list can know your current location. Yes, it's on your iPhone. If you turn it on, anybody on your contact list can know your current location. You get data insecurity. Data insecurity. Fraudulent identities are also part of those. Now, blockchain data, we have what we call data, we have what we call hash, and hash of previous block. So this is a block. Like I said, don't forget, in my first analogy, I said if God's praise is A, Esther is B, and Oyoma is C. I said if God's praise is changed to Esther, which means in Esther is what? A and what? Good. The hash of previous block. So that A is hash. We call it hash, right? Then in Esther would be the previous hash of the previous block. In Oyoma will be the previous hash of the previous two existing blocks. Are you getting me now? So a block is contained with the data, that's the information, then the hash, all right,
what we use in identifying the blocks, then the hash of the previous block. So it will now be the Genesis block. Inside R will be its own hash and our own hash, right? Inside him will be our own hash and his own hash. So you see that the informations cannot be stolen. Neither can it be eradicated. Because if it is stolen, it will be in the, if she is removed, it in the next block, it will be identified that something was missing in the previous block, right? That is where the immutability comes in. It cannot be changed. So people in the real estate world now are now using it. So in the situation where people are fighting for land issues, when you put your land on the blockchain, right, it is recorded that you are the first owner of this land. Yet somebody comes sometimes another year and comes to come and claim your land. You can just go on chain, on the blockchain, to show your case that, okay, this your land though has been registered on the blockchain. You understand? They're now using blockchain for legal practitioners are now using blockchain, right? For secured data, secured information, because it is immutable. Blockchain data. Blockchain data is a list of blocks of information or transaction, which is what? Which is what? So I'm going back to my previous analogy now, or that in the sense that A, B, and what? It can never be C, B, and A. Do you see now? It is chronological. You know the way they take attendance in school, where they will first be A, surnames with A, then surnames with B follow, and then to Z, right? Chronological. So we know that this one comes before this one, and this one comes before this one. You cannot say it is otherwise. The data is already stored and open source. A data is information that has been translated into a form that is efficient for the movement of processing. Blockchain is a type of shared database that differs from a typical database in the way that it stores information. Blockchain stores data in the blocks that are then linked together via cryptography. Via what? Now cryptography is that that encryption, right? So cryptography was what I was talking about that the Germans used, all right, in the Second World War, where they used to what? Encrypt and decrypt information. It is what? Cryptography. So we can say that cryptography coined the word cryptocurrency comes from the word cryptography. Why? Because the data and information on the blockchain are what? Yes, are encrypted into cryptographic hash. Into cryptographic what? Hash. Now, blockchain data processing. Blockchains are write-only data structures with no administrative permissions for what? Or what? That's where the immutability comes in, right? The informations cannot be edited or what? Or deleted. The data structure are known as blocks and are distributed in a what? Peer-to-peer network. Peer-to-peer what? So peer-to-peer network means that he can send information to, what's your name, sir? Powerful. Bartholomew. Okay. Now, so God's praise sends a message to Bartholomew or sends money to Bartholomew, sends an information to Bartholomew without an intermediary, right? Now, Bartholomew decides to send the same information to, what's your name, sir? Favor, right? That's a peer-to-peer network, all right, without an intermediary. And that's why somebody can send Bitcoin to Bartholomew without knowing Bartholomew. Bartholomew can send the same Bitcoin to favor without knowing favor, right? The transactions can be going on and on like that without any central authority. I don't know if you understand that. Okay. Each blocks contains the what? Cryptographic hash function of the what? Now, I come back to that same analogy, which means each of them, we identify them as a block, right? Now, for Esther, a cryptographic hash function contains the previous block's hash function, right? For a woman now, his cryptographic hash function contains the two of them. Do you get that now? That is it. Now, that is how each blockchain contains a cryptographic hash function of the previous one. Now look at it. I said this is a Genesis block, right? Then the next data being changed to this. Now look at this now. There's a hash already created for this Genesis block. Do you get it now? Now this hash now is existing in the previous block, in the next block. So we see that from here now, this is a data. Yeah, the data inside this place is good day. The data here is Thursday. Now it contains the previous hash of Genesis block, right? Now, and the second block has its own hash. Now, in the third block data is what? Fingerprint. Now, you see, it contains the what? The hash of the what? Of the previous block, right? Now, don't forget, the previous block contains the hash of the what? Previous one. So this one is in this one and bets a new hash. Now that tells you that in this new hash is contained the Genesis block hash. Now the third block is being created. Now the hash of this second block containing the hash of the Genesis block is now stored on the third block. Now if I remove the second block away, in this block, there's an information saying that what? There was a previous data that has been removed from here, right? So it's easy to spot that an information has been removed. Do you understand? Now, a blockchain network. A blockchain network. A blockchain network is a technical infrastructure that provides ledger and smart contract, chain of codes, services to applications. Now, how many of you accounting, you do anything like finance or accounting? You know, you've done introduction to ledger in accounting. Or even if you're not accounting or whatever, if you do business, right? You have where you store your information, your cash flow and your what? Your cash inflow and your cash outflow, right? Where you keep your debits and credits, okay? That is like a ledger, right? You input information into a ledger. So a blockchain is a ledger, right? So those informations are being stored on it. We also say that what it also has what? A smart contract. Now, what is the literal meaning for a contract? Agreement. So if I want to come in contract with him now, I want to have a contract with him now, we sign and what? An agreement. So it might be a paper agreement, right? Most contract is always paper, you sign, right? Even if it's electronic, you just sign and you send it over, right? Now, a smart contract now means that it won't have to be handwritten. The one that we are doing, like we have to sign and all that, is called hard contract. You get, it's physical, hard contract. But on the blockchain, we have smart contracts because codes cannot lie. So all those information that we need to come into agreement that, okay, do you agree to go in business with so-and-so person? Yes. Okay, like let me take, for example, an insurance firm. They can set up a blockchain network and use smart contract in building it, whereby when the insuree comes to the insurer and says, oh, I want to insure my what? My car. That agreement can be signed on the blockchain by smart contracts. So now, smart contract does not lie. So if anything happens anytime, right, the information on the smart contract will be the one to be used to justify if the client is worthy of an indemnity. So let's say the client insure against car theft, all right? And on his way out, he or she was robbed, right? And the insurance contract was already drafted and stored on smart contract, right? And already there are indicators that are already stored on this smart contract to justify if the client will be worthy of what? An indemnity or not. So then if the client comes to lay his or her report and the smart contract runs the evaluation, it is the smart contract instead of human judgment where they will say, yeah, let's just go and investigate it. And before you know, insurance company will say, we cannot give you full indemnity. You know, let's indemnify part of it and all that because it looks like you walk into a dangerous place and you need that this is dangerous. All those kind of things. So smart contracts will now be the one to justify if the client is worthy of an indemnity. So there will be certain questions that are already stored on the smart contract that will have to be answered by the client. All right. And once the code is run, the smart contract would now judge if it would now tell if the client is worthy of a full indemnity, half or partial indemnity, or something like that. So these are informations on the blockchain that are very, very crucial. Now, the users of applications might be end users using client applications or blockchain network administrator. Now, why do we need blockchain data system? Why is it important for us? At this moment, in the 21st century, why is blockchain important? So blockchain is the foundation for immutable ledgers or record or transaction that cannot be what? Altered, deleted, or destroyed. Now, different types of information can be stored on the blockchain, but the most common use so far has been as what? A ledger for transaction. That's the most common use. So the most used aspect of blockchain is transaction. Everybody say, you do crypto, I do crypto. Are you doing crypto? I'm doing crypto. Let's cash out. You understand? But it's more, right? You can store information on blockchain. Information that you don't want to forget in your life. Don't worry, just store it on the blockchain. You can run it on Ethereum Foundation Network, on Ethereum smart contracts. You just store those information there. And those informations will be represented in hash, right? Like there is something that happened in one of the universities in the US where a student wrote a project and the professor used the project without referencing or putting the identity I don't know. Yes, copyright reserve. So he just took the student's research report and used it. So the student wrote a letter to the management of the school. Nothing was done. Then the student now wrote the information on the smart contract and stored it there. Like she wrote the details of how everything happened, all information needed. She stored it on Ethereum smart contract, right? So that when the time comes, when she is powerful, she will go after that man. So that's it. So those informations, they can never be lost. You can store something on Google or store whatever, something can happen and it is lost, right? But on a smart contract, it will just be there permanently. Now, In Bitcoin's case, blockchain is used in a decentralized way so that no single person or group has control. Rather, all users collectively retain control. So if you are an owner of Bitcoin, you are part of the what? Of the Bitcoin nodes, right? You are contributing to the Bitcoin network, all right? So decentralized blockchains are what? Immutable. Immutable in the sense that they cannot be changed. Good. Which means that the data entered is what? Irreversible. For blockchain, this means that transactions are permanently recorded and viewable to what? Is it anybody? Now, how many of us remember NSAS? NSAS. Then people started contributing money from US, from Canada, supporting to certain accounts. What the government now start doing? Government now start closing down the accounts, right? Then what did the youth now start doing? Youth now brought out Bitcoin wallets. I get me now. Can they close that one down? Decentralized. Do you get now? Decentralized. Now what happened? They started sending money into the account to some certain NGOs wallets, right? Then people now start tracking the wallet. This NGO are collecting money. There was a time when money moved out of that wallet. Somebody went to Twitter and said, hey, he screenshot it. Money has moved though from it's what? It's recorded and viewable to what? Anybody. As money come out like this, capture it and say, oh yeah, Twitter warriors, let's gather here and let's justify this case. So they raised the matter, you know, and then they came out to explain why the money was moved. So blockchain helps us to hold people accountable. If government transactions are carried out on the blockchain, me and you will see it. And when we see something move, say, money has what? Moved. Tell us what you use it for. So blockchain can be used to hold government, institutions, individuals accountable. You can send somebody money now and say, okay, use it for this thing. And you collect his wallet ID, right? Is it wallet ID? Address, wallet address, right? You can read transactions carried out on that address without telling the person that this thing. So that's it. Now, the consensus mechanism. So when we say blockchain is decentralized, there is a mechanism via which that is actually possible. We are exploring that mechanism now. A consensus mechanism is a fault tolerance mechanism that is used in computer and blockchain systems to achieve the necessary agreement on a single data value or a single state of network among the distributed processes or multi-agent system, such as cryptocurrency. Like I said earlier, consensus means what? Agreement. Now, so consensus mechanism means that there must be an agreement before a block is added to the what? To the chain. So now, we cannot just say God's praise as a block and then Esther is added to him like that. Sorry. There is a criteria, right? Esther must be verified to know if she is worthy or fit to be chained with God's praise. So that mechanism is what? Consensus mechanism. Now, working of consensus mechanism in the blockchain. We have two major types of consensus mechanism. There are many, but we have two that we're might talk about. Okay, good. Two major types now. There are proof of work and what? Proof of stake. Because of our time, I will explain it from here. Now, proof of work. Proof of what? Work, which means it has to do with some physical energy. You get activity that has to be carried out before an agreement can occur on the blockchain. Now, this proof of work is used by Bitcoin, right? Now, this proof of work is used to approve if Bitcoin, if a block, right, should be created and added to the Bitcoin network. Now, when an information is sent to the Bitcoin network, when data is sent to the Bitcoin network, there are those called the miners. The what? So they start solving a mathematical problem. Now, this mathematical problem is a complex one, right? And some of which they solve it with, complex systems, computers and likes and devices. Now, algorithms. So these miners are distributed all over the world, most of which they don't know themselves before, right? So they start solving that mathematical problem. The first person to solve the mathematical problem and get the answer, right, a block would be created, right? And that person who solved that mathematical problem will be rewarded with some Bitcoin, right? That's how miners make their money, right? They make their money from what? Mining the block. So when they successfully mine a block, they get rewarded for it. And the reward is not, they can get reward like 6 Bitcoins, 1 Bitcoin, 2 Bitcoins. That's how their rewards are. So the reward is not $5K or something. And you know, a Bitcoin is how much? $43,000. You understand? So because this miner actually spends so much, because mining takes a lot of energy. You get a lot of power supply. So it's a lot of money to actually set up a Bitcoin mining station. Now, proof of stake. From the word stake, stakeholder. So which means it is a group of persons, right, validating a transactions, coming together to validate transactions. Those group of persons don't have to know themselves before. They don't have to be in the same location, right? But they are called validators. They validate if a transaction, if a data should be created, if a block should be created from the data, right? So now they call them validators because they own a stake on the network. To own a stake on some network is $35 million. On the Terra Luna ecosystem is $35 million. If I'm not mistaken, $35 million to be a validator. So it's a lot, right? Some 5 million, right? Some 25, some 10 million to be a validator. Now, these persons are distributed all over the world. Okay, they are the one that validates if a block should be created. That validation process is to verify if the information that is being added to the block is authentic. Get it now? Yes, they are human beings. They're stake. So they're like stakeholders. Exactly. So for proof of work, mining capacity depends on a computational power. On a what? Computational power. So a miner has to use a lot of computer systems, right, to actually mine Bitcoin. All right. Now, miners receive block reward. They call it block reward. Once they mine and they create a block, miners will receive a reward to solve a cryptographic word puzzle. Okay. Lastly, hackers would need to have a computer powerful than 51% of the network to add a malicious block. So which means now to attack Bitcoin, the person that wants to attack Bitcoin must have 51% of the entire network, which is not possible. Again, because Bitcoin is the most decentralized cryptocurrency, the most decentralized. You get, with thousands of miners. Now, proof of stake, validating capacity depends on the stake. So it depends on your stake in the ecosystem. So if the minimum amount needed to be a validator is 35 million, and you step in with $100 million, what happens? You have a what? A validating capacity, more validating capacity than somebody who just stepped in with 35 million, right? But that does not mean that you have a superior power over everybody, all right? Because in the proof of stake, majority must actually agree. Do you get it now? Validators do not receive a block reward. Instead, they collect transaction fees as reward. Then hackers would need to own 51% of the cryptocurrency. That is why if you are going to invest in a cryptocurrency, you want to know who is holding most. You understand? An ecosystem where a single person is holding 51% of the currency, run. No. It's all right. Even 31% or 20% is kind of too much. Thanks. Thank you.
A round of applause for our chief. All right, yes, this is the question and answer session. All right. So raise up your hand if you have a question. We just select a few. All right. Okay, yeah. Raise your hand. Let me.
All right, thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Bartholomew. So thank you very much for the powerful session. I want to ask your last discussion on proof of stake and proof of work. You mentioned something about being a validator, you have to have up to 35 million in the whole ecosystem of the project. Now I'm asking, can you please relate the proof of stake to TVL, that is total value locked? Does it mean that if you bring the 35 million to the ecosystem, it's going to be locked so that to boost the ecosystem of that project? Thank you very much.
Yes, so thank you very much. Yeah, so that money being brought into the ecosystem would actually be locked. Do you get what I'm saying now? Now, so if the validator wants to withdraw, there's always a like they give some number of time, right? So if you make order for a withdrawal, it will take probably 14 days, 21 days for you to get it out. Do you get it now? So that's the number of stakeholders, right? And also persons who stake into the ecosystem contributes to the total value locked. Yeah. Because total value lock has to do with the amount of volume and money coming into the ecosystem, you know, in form of stake, yield farming, and so on like that.
You see, as I drop my back, so please, wait till the Bitcoin, because I see sorry, but I will see Bitcoin and all that, you know. And I ask because money when I know now 10 naira, 20 naira, 50 naira, 1,500, wait till the Bitcoin. And not only that, do this network. I have been to from where they do networking, do health, whatever, pay this, do that. But I do Bitcoin. I pay wait till the Bitcoin first.
Thank you very much. Firstly, it's not it doesn't have anything to do with what do you call it? MLM. What is MLM? All this bring one per hand, multi-level marketing. No. So it has to do with you know, the decentralized, the decentralized network has to do with the fact that there's no central authority. You can't send money, right, without the data and informations going through GTB or Zenith Bank or whatever bank you are using, right? And they can decide to lock your account, you know, they are like authority, okay? They can view your account from their own back end, all right? Now, like I said, for blockchain now, is decentralized. Your identity is not attached to your wallet ID, your transaction ID. You get, they can only know that, okay, money is moving from this ID to this ID. Do you get it now? So that's it. Now for Bitcoin, you see, like money is what the law says it is. money is what the word law says it is. If the law says that mango leaf is now money, value enters into it. Do you understand now? So if I say Bitcoin look like this, look at so Bitcoin is virtual. You get? So it's more like I'm going to be very sincere with you, because 80% of the money in the world does not exist. That's the fact. It's just I send you money, you receive I see the figure. That's it. Exactly. I saw the alert. You saw the figure. 80% of the money in the world is not physical. Does not exist. You know what I'm saying now? So if I tell you I send you so and so dollar, it's just number. You just see the digit number. Yes. So Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer network. I don't confuse you again. So it's a decentralized network, right? Where people can actually transact without the need of a central authority. You get what I'm saying now? So now Bitcoin increase, yeah? No, you can, okay, if I buy something from you now, I can pay you in Bitcoin. So I'm exchanging value. Do you get it now? So if we are selling anything now, I can pay you in Bitcoin. Do you get it now? Now, Bitcoin has value because people saw value in it. And Bitcoin is increasing in value because people perceived it as valuable. And that's it. You are using Naira because you perceive it as valuable.
All right, so there's no much time again, just 3 minutes. Just ask one last question. There's no much time again, so
what we'll do is this after the
so you
no, one more.
Good morning, everyone. I want to appreciate our trainer. Your delivery was superb and your slides, I'm in love with them. So I want to ask, can we, those that are interested, get material so that our brain can understand some of the, anything that has to do, yes, that's from you. If we can get this one to be appreciated, that's printed out, not the soft copy. Then secondly, I've heard about this airdrop. I've heard about Zuga coin. Somebody has been disturbing. Come and buy Zuga coin, 35,000. Don't worry. Don't worry. You will just, you know, you have helped me in this life very much. You will just bring 15K. I will bring the, no, you bring 20K. I'll bring the 15K. I told him, I said, the free ones they have introduced me to, my brain has not even captured them. You understand? So the reason I'm here is I want to really understand all these ones that they tell us, click this link, you get free airdrop, you get some free Bitcoin, free roll and all that. Please, are they leading us aright, or they are leading us into what you don't understand?
Thank you very much. So, because people always want to take advantage of innovations. Here you get. So, and because there is so much energy in the air, enthusiasm, and the Lord, people eat their head on scams and a lot of stuff like that. And because of the, everybody wants to make money, in Nigeria, even if they lose money somewhere, and you tell them that this one will pay you 2K in 2 seconds, they are there again. Do you understand? So that's why we actually walk you through what the blockchain technology is all about, right? So there's some blockchain networks that if a single person is controlling the majority of the chain, then it should run. Do you know what I'm saying now? But for all those Zuga coin and all that, I'm not endorsing that. Now, nobody will give you free Bitcoin. Yes, nobody will give you free Bitcoin. All right. But there are other cryptocurrencies, right, that they will give you airdrop, right? That airdrop is a means of marketing, because we now live in Web3, we call it Web3 blockchain. We live in an incentive economy. You know what I'm saying now? If I was inviting somebody to my Twitter space, he was asking me, now go do giveaway. So which means he will only come to my Twitter space if I'm doing what? Giveaway. So we live in an incentive economy where they will say, okay, do this activity, you get so and so amount of money, right? That's it. They're trying to incentivize you for taking certain actions, all right? That's airdrop. Well, it's not bad if you explore airdrops, since it is free. So far, you're not paying for anything, All right. And when you're going for airdrops like that, don't use your wallet that you store your real money in. Yes, you can create a separate wallet where you. So if you want to fool themselves, they fool themselves, not you. Because some persons might actually break into your wallet. Probably you carelessly give them your details and all those things, and they will take all your money. All right. But for airdrops, it's fine, it's free. So since it doesn't have to do with you paying for it, you can just explore it and see what comes out from it. It is from that enthusiasm, that exploration, and you are reading more about it, you get to know more. But don't pay anybody to keep a blockchain or whatever, Bitcoin for you or whatever. No. Thank you. So please, would after. Okay.
Everybody, my name is Kingsley. The question our mommy here asked, I felt maybe she wanted it to be broken down in a layman language. You were still explaining, you were trying to break it down as much as you could, but some English was still confusing her. The thing is that for you to really understand the concept of blockchain and cryptocurrency, we need to first understand what money is. Money. We know we use money, but not everybody knows exactly what money is. He pointed out that if we decide that, if the authority decide that mango leaf should be currency or medium of exchange, value will be attracted to it. Now, imagine we have many mango trees all over the world, in Nigeria alone, right? Now, it means that the value that will be attracted to that mango leaf will not be much because it's surplus. Now, the fact that something is scarce attracts more value to it, right? Now, coming to the term where we say money, understanding what money is, there are three ways to get money. Either you work for it, you work to earn it, you do a job, somebody pays you, that's one. The second one is you are gifted money. Then the third one is you mine it. You mine or you dig it up. For instance, we know there was a time in this world, gold is still a standard up till today, right? The money we talk about that he said 80% of the money in the world does not exist, right? We know that most banks or most governments have gold reserves, right? Now, gold at some point in time in our history was seen as a medium of exchange, right? In the olden days. So for you to acquire gold, you have to till the ground and work to get it, right? And you have to put in energy. You have to, whatever you're going to use to excavate the ground, you have to buy those tools. Those money you are spending on getting those equipment, hiring laborers to till the ground is what you are paying to get that gold. When you get it, you refine it. It's still a process. You have to pay for those processes or put in energy, right? So the three ways, either you earn money, you mint it, or you are gifted it, right? Now, Bitcoin is simply another form of our currency. We have dollar, pounds, naira, euro, and the rest of them. Bitcoin is just like them, but a better version of them. In this time, it is virtual or digital. You can't touch Bitcoin, you can't hold Bitcoin, you can't hold cryptocurrencies, but they exist on the internet, right? So that is this a simple explanation of what cryptocurrency or Bitcoin is. You can call it spiritual money, but
Bitcoin is cryptocurrency. Yes, ma'am. All right, thank you. Okay, round of applause for our speaker. Yeah. So if you have any question in regards that, we will share our Telegram handle where you can ask the question. He's also he's the founder of Insmart, so we address you there, and some other people will address you, answer your question. Okay, so right now, more like a break, so your brain will cool down. Yeah, so your brain don't work in pressure. So real quick, the knowledge we've all gathered here now, it will only be vital if we do more research on it. For those data analysts, this is quite like, it gives you more edge. Data analysts, data scientists, this gives you more edge to actually work in the blockchain industry, and you in way bigger than the way share people in, all these oil people, they cannot earn as much as you pay, because in a data science, as a data scientist, you are paid $100,000 annually. If you are lucky, that is for data analysts as well. Then let's say the minimum of $70,000 annually. So if you calculate it divided by the 12 months, you know the amount you earn every month. So that's what you earn. And imagine you are earning that, you are doing that kind of job in a blockchain space where they'll be paying you in cryptocurrency. So when you get paid in cryptocurrency, the value of that coin, it will increase eventually. Depends on, maybe they pay you on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is more like, as they've explained about Bitcoin, so it's more adapted by most countries. So the value of Bitcoin, the more they are demanding for Bitcoin, the more the value increases. So if they are paying you Bitcoin, it means they're actually buying more Bitcoin, and your portfolio increase. There was the time I bought a coin, I bought Bitcoin. It was very low, and I just left it on my wallet and forgot about it. After a few months later, I checked my wallet and I was surprised. Then I decided to research more into the crypto space to know how I can benefit from it. So you guys, you just got knowledge of the blockchain now. Go more, go to YouTube. YouTube is the best way to just get free information. Study ads, do more research, study about NFTs, study about, those are the future of this country now. Because you cannot actually earn that much if you say you want to do a complete job. No, even if you're entrepreneur, it take you years before you can earn that much. I advise you guys to just put it into okay, real quick. Some faces just joined us and would like to know your names. So I just ask your name, not Mrs. Fine Woman. Ma'am, please your name.
Mrs. Osazua, Tori.
Mrs. Azwa, thank you.
Daniela Kudai. Daniela Kudai. Abiola.
My name is Victor Powell.
Amina. No. Amina.
My name is Kingsley Nebo.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kende Justina.
I'm Monyani Chinedochi.
My name is Dieta Odo.
My name is Faith.
My name is Annette.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Fred.
My name is Mario.
My name is Asameka. My name is Success Emeka.
All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Caleb Aulime. Morning, my name is Bartholomew Chindu.
My name is Judah Tari.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Precious Olubusemi.
I am Ehi Esther.
Let me see more light. See more light. Light.
My name is God's Praise.
My name is
I'm Oyoma.
All right, yeah, thank you. You are all welcome to learn about blockchain. Okay, so real quick, you guys should, we are in partnership with Yali. All right. Oh, so sorry, guys. We have some people viewing online. Please, your name. Show mute it so I will hear them. Just tell us your name, people online watching us through the Zoom. Esther, please unmute your mic and tell us your name. Okay, yes. Unmute your mic and talk.
Usayero.
Usayero, you're welcome. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, I'm Nifemi by name.
Sorry?
Nifemi.
Nifemi, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You can show your face
Okay.
as well.
Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, everyone. I'm Faith Sampson. It has been an
Welcome,
amazing section.
Yeah, thank you for joining. So next person, is that all? Okay, someone just dropped the name. Marvelous Omuragbon. You're welcome on the group chat. So just in case you can't tell us your name, you just drop it on the group chat and I'll read it out here. Thank you for joining us. So really quick, there's going to be a giveaway session though. Okay, so if you just joined and you've not participated, you just follow our Twitter handle and follow Yali Edu Twitter handle, tag them, use the hashtag FinSmart. Yeah. Yes, just do that now. The highest like and the highest retweet to get something. All right. So FinSmart is spelled FINSMART. FinSmart. Yali Network Edu. YALI. Eh? Yes, on Twitter. Just on Twitter. Okay, Yali spelled Yali Network Edu is spelled YALI NETWORK Edu EDO. So just follow them. Add, you write this name, you write this name, follow, then you can take a picture. Most importantly, take a picture that you are here. Yeah, take a picture, write it. Yes. All right, Esther just wrote her name. I am Esther. You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, so real quick, I want to just pick randomly. Okay. I should know that, okay, you guys have learned something for what this man taught, our humble apostle of finance. So I just want to throw a question to one lucky person. Away though. Okay, just one sharp question. Let me know if you guys were following the session and everything. I'm going to point. Okay. I took my notes as well. So just can you kindly tell us what you understand by blockchain?
Wow, I come late, so I be late comer. Okay. From however I say it, you people should encourage me. Eh? Okay. Blockchain, from what I learned, it's like a block that has data in it. It has a hash, then it has the previous hash of the hash of the previous block. So in a blockchain, you have the information of the previous in the next one, and in the hash of that particular one, there's the one of that. In fact, I'm not talking fast like this, but I have an.
I understand. It was when you were pointing their head. That's good. Good to know. Okay, another random person. Miss Samina. Okay. So sorry. All right. If you know it, just volunteer. I want to pick you. Okay. There's a public blockchain, private blockchain, hybrid, and consortium rather. Round of applause for this guy. He's a genius. I believe he's a first class student. Great. So, you said? It's a public blockchain, public, private, consortium, and hybrid. All right. I believe you guys followed the session. So I want to pick another person again. So this person now will tell me the other name of private blockchain. Okay, let me just address it to those watching us on the Zoom live. So if you know the other name of the private blockchain, just unmute your mic and give us something reasonable.
Okay, another name for private blockchain is a managed blockchain.
Correct. Thank you very much. All right, so someone just joined and person said the name. Person name is Sunday Oga. You're welcome. Then another Nusa Error. You're welcome. I hope I pronounced your name right. Okay, so I want to ask one question. It's not actually a question. It's not in regards to what question. If I will just you see for the general house, you have the opportunity to either go back in time or go into the future with this knowledge you have. Which will you pick and why? If you have the opportunity to either go back in time or go into the future with the knowledge you have now from blockchain, which will you pick and why?
I would rather go back in time. At least if I was able to get like 2 Bitcoin, just two Bitcoin, then I'll be fine. Just 2 Bitcoin, I'll be fine.
Any other person? All right.
That was 2020. I had a whole lot of money with me then, but I never thought about deposits into Bitcoin. And then one investment came up. I had to put in the investment. I'm talking about like 200,000. And you know how the story goes. The whole thing crashed. I couldn't get my money back. And BTC was 15K as at that time, 2020, when I had the money. Thank you.
Sorry, man. So touching.
Oh. I would rather go back because, like, I've seen a glimpse of the future. So back, I think this is the best.
That's nice. Me, I will go into the future and multiply. I want to know what's going to happen in the future with the knowledge I have. I should be able to, conquer things. I will not go back in time. No, that's past times. All right, so real quick. So presently on break. If you want to use the restroom, you can go to the restroom there. And if you want to just go and cash on here, feel free till we meet again and receive your next lecture. Another mad lecture that you don't want to miss by any means because it's related to cryptocurrency. It's going to touch your heart. The wrong investment and all that. So if you want to work out, you want to do anything, but make sure you be here by 12. Thank you. Okay, and also you can go and snap pictures. Yeah, snap pictures. You can snap with me. I want to have your beautiful face on my social media and do. Yeah. Okay. That'll be that for that. We'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, we'll be back by 12, please. By 12, by 12, by 12. You don't want to miss the next session.
My name is Barak Idoko, Abraham Ojima Ojedom, Chilotam Christopher Orafma. Lodi Joshua. My name is Okolota Messina Victor. Sukuni Ken Daniel.
Precious Suki.
I'm Bright Air. Farouk Harun Oluwaferan.
My name is Anyoke Nzidesisi.
Fortune Emmanuel King.
Adaubu Amani. Elizabeth Chineye Ejeroni.
So I'm from a family of 4 children. I'm from Kogi State, Nigeria, but my parents live in Abuja. I attended government secondary school, Karo, and I heard about the opportunity fund program from the Education USA advisors when they came to my school in 2016.
My dad is deceased, and then I practically grew up with just my mom. I got to hear about Education USA from my school, University Secondary School in Suka.
I've lived my whole life in Jos, except from the time I came to Abuja for education, USC. I attended Baptist High School, Jos.
I'm from the ancient city of Benin, where I live with my parents and my 4 siblings. We're a very low income family. Sometimes in a day we won't have food. My father is a taxi driver. My mom is unemployed.
My parents are missionaries, and I'm the first of 3 children. I went to Baptist High School in Jos, and I heard about the Opportunity Fund program for my school's guidance counselor.
I grew up in Anambra State, and I'm also the first person in my family to go to college.
I went to school in Paragon Academy, Australia, and over there, education university advisors, they always come visit us at the end of the session.
I was born in suburb in Anambra State, Abadan. So I grew up in a family of 6. I was reduced to 5 in 2008, and I lost my dad. I attended St. Paul's Academy, Jos. My dad suffers from arthritis and hip problems. My mom is a petty trader.
I heard about OFP from a friend. He just called me up one day and was like, there's this thing online, check it out. And I applied.
The education USA advisors have been coming to my school from JS1, JS2, JS3, almost every year. So I've seen a lot of people go through the program and come successful and even come back to give back to school.
From what my guidance counselor had told me earlier, I needed great grades to pull being a part of the program. So I believe my transcripts of 4.0 and my WIAC results of 7 A's and 2 B's, alongside my recommendations from my teachers, did a lot in getting into the program.
I got a full scholarship to Vassar College in New York State. I plan to major in biochemistry.
I'll be attending Franklin and Marshall College at Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I'll be majoring in computer science, and I hope to apply my skills in the field of artificial intelligence.
This fall, I'll be attending Neva School at KGI on a full scholarship. I hope to major in natural sciences.
I'll be going to Kalamazoo College, Kalamazoo, Michigan. I plan to double major in economics and psychology.
I'll be going to Ashesi University. I was selected as one of the Gemovia scholars. I'll be studying business administration. When I come back, I hope to help small and medium scale traders and businesses build and manage stable businesses.
I'm going to Washington and Lee University, Texas, in Virginia. I got a scholarship of over $75,000, and I plan on majoring in engineering or computer science, and later progressing on to artificial intelligence or robotics.
I'm going to Dartmouth College in Newburgh, New Hampshire. I got a full scholarship to study here, and I intend to study electrical engineering and computer science.
I got a full ride of over $6,000 to Minerva School at KGI, San Francisco, where I'll be studying international relations alongside chemistry.
I'm going to Tufts University, Huntington, Medford, Massachusetts. I'm likely going to go for a computer science program, but I might change my mind and go for a computer engineering program. I'm going to Vanderbilt University on a full scholarship of over $80,000. I plan to study mechanical engineering and economics at the same time.
I'm going to Ashesi University. I got a MasterCard scholarship. I'm going to study computer science, and in the future, I look forward to helping girls that are interested in technology. I want to help them to achieve their goals.
My plans after studying at Northwestern University is to come back to Nigeria to lead cutting-edge research, and I plan to do a lot of entrepreneurship once I'm out of school.
I plan to get involved in nuclear energy generation as well as policy making, because Minerva has a unique academic student that is revolutionary.
All right. Thank you.
So venturing into policy making, I hope to see an education.
Okay, now you guys will call me. Break is over. Yes, please call me. The break is over. See now, I'm back, fully fitted. All right, please, the break is over. You guys should call me. If you're coming in, there's water by the door. You can just grab one. Please call me.
Digital Skills for Africa. They give more than 40 online courses with
Mr. Shofu.
learning work, like the small things with the digital market.
All right, please call me.
Today
It's time for your next session. real quick, I'm going to
You can pay with cash or card upon delivery at your doorstep when you shop on Jumia, and you can return your order with convenience free of charge. Terms and conditions apply. Jumia, your everyday delivery.
All right, so please have your seats. Have your seat this time. I'm going to have one of Finsmart's admins and a legend in this place is going to talk about cryptocurrencies. He's going to give you light about what you need to know about the crypto space, the risk you're going to encounter, the way to avoid risk. If you're a risk adverse, what you should do to make money. If you're a risk lover, what you should do to make money. If you are neutral like me, we tell you what you need to do to make money as well. So real quick, I need you guys to take your seats with a round of applause. No, please keep clapping. Keep clapping. Yes, welcome, Mr. Wisdom. Yeah, it's our legend. He taught me almost everything I know in crypto. Don't more, sir. Yeah, welcome, sir. Welcome.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I've noticed in recent times that why, I don't know why, but for whatever the reason, I believe it's prophetic. Yeah, one of them did it most recently, and I was like, should I start my 3 days fasting and prayers? Because this is getting out of hand. I'm still a small boy, so all this legend, I don't know where it's coming from. But you know, go work. So I'll be taking cryptocurrencies as an asset, and given that the cryptocurrency space is very big, it's quite big. We want to try as much as possible to streamline it into one. Okay, instead of talking about all of them, which is practically impossible, given the time that we have, we said let's just focus on one. And then normally we are supposed to go to Bitcoin straight, but as you see as we go along the way, there are certain reasons why I decided, or the team as a whole decided that no, instead of going for Bitcoin, let us go instead for Ethereum. All right, so this is what I'll be taking within the next few minutes: cryptocurrencies as an asset, specifically Ethereum. All right. So a brief introduction. Now, it has been said, in fact, since we've been here, it has been mentioned quite a number of times that cryptocurrency is the future. All right, that crypto is the future. And this is quite true, as it were, but it's necessary for you to have a broader understanding of this. Don't think of it in a streamlined way. Don't think of it that at some point in time, Bitcoin or Ethereum is going to replace central banks. It's going to be a very hard fight. Going against the government and winning is damn hard. Ethereum might exist independently, Bitcoin might exist independently, but the advantages that come with owning a central bank will never make the government give up their central banks. It will be hard. I'm a realist, so this is just how it is. So the truth is, blockchain as a whole, it's much more than just money. The application of the blockchain technology is way much more than that. Take, for example, the last US election, some of you might not know, but some military men actually voted via the blockchain. I'm a pharmacy student, in terms of supply chain, you could bring in blockchain into supply chain. The potential is much. And then it's not necessary for us if we say that we are the leaders of tomorrow. You might not necessarily be in deep into it, but at least understand how it works. Have that added advantage. Understand the technology, how the technology runs. Understand certain things about how it works. All right, take for example now, I don't know how many of you have sent money from Nigeria abroad. How many persons you've, I don't mean using cryptocurrencies, I mean using your bank. Please enlighten us. How hard was, okay, you haven't. If you have, you get to see that there are some steps you need to take. And then along the way, there are a lot of charges that would actually get to you. But when you come to the place of cryptocurrency, yes, when you interact with the smart contract, you pay a fee, which we call gas fees. Yes, you will. But the beautiful thing about it is that it's in cents. For most times, it was just during the boom of the crypto kittens that was built on top of Ethereum that we got to see gas fees in Ethereum as high as 200, 500, 1K USD. Normally, it was quite cheap. And in recent times, it has come down with bits. It's not as high as before. It has come down with bits. Okay. So you need to understand how it works. That's just what I'm basically saying. Now, you say cryptocurrencies, the first thing that comes to your mind will be Bitcoin. And after Bitcoin, the next one that should come to your mind should most likely be Ethereum, and that is right. But before we can move forward, allow us to move some steps back. Why Bitcoin? Why the blockchain? Why cryptocurrencies? 2008, we had what we call the Great Recession. For those of you who are history students, I love to read a lot. I read wide. We had the Great Recession, and the banks played a certain role, including the central banks, which wasn't quite acceptable to the general public. The recession was high. It was something else. And then they noticed that these guys that are supposed to be, because when you talk about money, specifically the central banks, the reason why your money is valuable is because it has the backings of the government. It has the backing of Nigeria. That's why 10 naira is a currency. All right. And then initially, most often than not, as my Oga here said, most of these currencies were pegged to the dollars, to gold as a standard. The way it was initially was a currency gets pegged to the US dollars, and then the US dollars gets pegged to gold as a standard. All right, but much later on, things, I think that was during the era of President Nixon, he came around and he said, no, dollars will no longer be pegged to gold. It will be a currency on its own. And then other countries still said, good and fine, let's still take the US dollars as our reserve currencies. But in 2008, there was a great recession. Banks went down. The common man suffered. Everybody suffered. And then some persons were now like, something needs to be done. And then within that 2008, the idea of Bitcoin was conceptualized. And then by 2009, specifically January, the first block on the Bitcoin blockchain was mined. That was 2009. That was when the first block in the Bitcoin blockchain was mined. Fast forward to 2010, one very wise man decided that he wanted to use 10,000 Bitcoin to buy pizza, Domino's pizza. He decided that I want to get 10,000 Bitcoin to get, that was 2 pizza now. He said, I want to buy 2 pizza with $10,000 worth of Bitcoin. 10,000 Bitcoin itself, rather, sorry, not the monetary value. And he did. Whereas many of us might think of him as a fool, which actually I agree he was, by the way. But the truth is this, he paved the way for cryptocurrencies to be recognized as currencies. That is the truth. Before then, nobody wanted to accept Bitcoin for anything. So he did that, and yes, he was foolish for doing that, but he actually opened up a path for most of these things to happen. But Bitcoin came with certain limitations, quite a lot. As I've said already, Bitcoin could only be used to transfer money. For those of you that are already using, that are already into the cryptocurrency world, you know we have USDT ERC20. You have USDT TRC20. You have USDT Algo. A lot of them, how many of you have ever seen USDT BTC? That's the thing. So Bitcoin, in the way it was crafted, it was simply crafted in such a way that I send you money and then you receive the money, finish. You get, but we understood that this has potential for much more, way much more. And then along the line, Ethereum came into place. And to me, it's kind of funny because before Ethereum came into place, we had other currencies like Monero. Monero came out before Ethereum, but it's not as popular, neither as costly as Ethereum. XLM came before, but it's not as popular and neither is it as costly as Ethereum. Ripple came before Ethereum, but we don't see it on the same path as Ethereum. Why? The major thing there, smart contracts. That was the major thing there. Now, as I've said already, look at this. This is the major limitation we had. It could only be used for peer-to-peer money transfers over the internet. I take $10 worth of BTC, I send it to you, it gets deducted from my account, you receive the $10 BTC. Of course, there were problems that needed to be solved with that, specifically the problem of double spend. If I'm too fast, please tell me, please. Specifically the problem of double spending. It had to be solved, and along the line, it's to some extent, it got solved. All right, so look at this. But the Bitcoin network does not allow us to execute more complicated logic. For example, if X lends this to Y, Y returns this to X in 6 months. You get, with BTC, it was quite hard. All right, it was quite hard. So the question then is, can the blockchain technology be leveraged onto do more? And the answer is yes. So what were the possible solutions? Solution number one, build an entirely new blockchain with enhanced features. That is possible. And that's what a lot of persons are doing currently. We have a lot of blockchains, a lot, all right? But it's quite difficult to implement. It will take a lot of time too. Another option is to build something of Bitcoin, but the problem is it's hard to scale. And that's why I really don't see anything much on the Bitcoin network. It's just Bitcoin, it's just there. And lest I forget, we of course know the person or the group of persons that brought Bitcoin to be, Satoshi Nakamoto. We do not know if it's one man or if it's a group of persons, we do not know. All we know is that they go by the name, by the alias Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, the third one, why don't we try to put some programming on top of Bitcoin? Still building. Why? It had limited capabilities. And then this man, Vitalik Buterin, came along with something special. Small boy, 17 years, have he? I didn't see money, I did fear. I did fear. So he came around in 2014, published a white paper, and then by 2015, Ethereum was live. Okay. So what then is Ethereum? That is now the question. Most often than not, we confuse Ethereum with Ether. Ethereum is the blockchain. Ether is the native currency. They are two different things. When you speak to someone who is not knowledgeable in blockchain and you say, I want to send you Ethereum, it's acceptable. But when you speak with someone, when you are at certain climes, it's expected that you use specific terminologies. It's please mark that you want to send it, it's Ether you are sending, not Ethereum. So what is Ethereum? Ethereum is a decentralized computer network. What does it do? It simply executes what we call smart contracts. Decentralized computer network. Decentralized in the sense that it is spread across the world. Apostle, when taking his session, mentioned what we call mining. It will shock you to know that in certain places in the USA, somewhere as big as Uniben is used strictly as a mining farm. Strictly as a mining farm. They get what we call supercomputers. I've forgotten the name of this ASIC. I've forgotten the specific name, but it gives you, it shifts from CPU to GPU. It gives you much more computational power, because as we'll see much later on, Ethereum runs on the consensus mechanism known as the proof of work, similar to Bitcoin. And then if you are going to do anything with the proof of work consensus, you will have to solve a specific complex mathematical problem, but you cannot solve it. You have your limitations, and that's where computers come in. These computers are able to solve this thing using trial and error. They do not know the answer. But whichever computer solves it first gets rewarded with either Ethereum, if you're on the Ethereum blockchain, or Bitcoin, if you're in the Bitcoin blockchain. And it's money, actually. It's money. To buy it, you spend a lot of money. But by the time you start mining and then you start getting all of these things, you get your money back. I followed a guy on YouTube within a year, at the 6 months, he had already made everything back. And then he was now strictly on profits. But of course, we know that Ethereum, for those of you that are up to date, soon will be transitioning to the proof of stake. We know that, right? Soon. All right, but let's not go so deep into that. It is a decentralized blockchain platform that establishes a peer-to-peer network that securely executes and verifies application code called smart contracts. As I said already, think of it as this: networks, computers spread across the world. This is what keeps it running. The Ethereum network is live 24 hours, 7 days a week. It hardly goes down. Hardly. All right, hardly. It's necessary. Now, it is described as the first world's programmable blockchain. This is what made it stand out. Then you could easily build on top of it. With Bitcoin, it was hard. But Ethereum comes along and says, if you're a genius, come along. If you have something to build, why not? You get? It says, come along, build on top of me. For those of you that are programmers here, you know of the Solidity language. That's what we use to build on top of the Ethereum network. I've already said this. This is its consensus mechanism, the proof of work protocol. And I already said that it is transitioning to the proof of stake protocol. Now, the Ethereum platform supports Ether, which I've already said is the native currency, in addition to a network of decentralized apps known as dApps. And then if you are going to really stay within the cryptocurrency world, you hear this quite a lot, dApps, and there are quite a lot of them, a whole lot of them. And these dApps execute complex logic. By the time we move into the section of decentralized finance, that's where you get to see that everything the traditional central bank does, that is what we are trying to replicate with the cryptocurrency world. We are trying to move it away from the traditional system into a decentralized. We need more transparency, for crying out loud. If as Tumisha said already, if most of the things we see with our governments, if we can actually see them and hold these guys accountable, a lot of things will change. But we can't. Why? Because the kind of network they operate is permissioned. Not everybody has access to it. If I have access to your wallet address, I can track you. When I say track, I simply mean I can know what you have in your wallet. But if I do not know you personally, I can never know that it is you. You get the idea? So the wallet is there for anybody to see whatever I want to see. But can you track it to me? No. Unless, of course, you're now using, we'll get into that when we talk about exchanges, when we talk about decentralized exchanges and then centralized exchanges. So that is Ether. I've already said it. And Ether is what we use to pay what we call gas fees within the Ethereum network. If you are on the Polygon network, you use Matic to pay the fees. If you're on the Algorand network, you use Algo, and so on and so forth. But notice, whenever you interact with a smart contract, you are expected to pay a fee. And then the fee will be taken with the native currency of the blockchain you are on. That's it. Okay. Oh, is that me? Eh? Okay. Okay, so as I was saying, concerning the addresses, yes. If, say for example, now I have the address of one of my very good friends here. Once I usually check it to know how I'm going to bill him. once. He's laughing because he knows himself. So you have that address, you have access. I wish we had a particular session. We would have loved to read data on the blockchain. It would have been nice. We'll just cruise around the blockchain. All right, but there is no time for that, of course. So this is Ether. All right, so moving on to the next one, smart contracts. Smart contracts, let's break that down. What is contract? If we are going to have a contract, it simply means we are going to have an agreement, right? But now the difference between the normal contract and then a smart contract is that a smart contract is supposedly supposed to be smart, right? You don't see wisdom, we know wise. Have you seen courageous that is not courage? So smart contract is expected that since the contract is something we know and then is accepted, everybody knows what a contract is. But they now saw this same contract and then they are now adding smart to it. So it means that most likely this contract is a smart one. To some extent it's true, but for those of you that are programmers, you know that codes are not smart. Computers are not smart. Computers simply do what you tell them to do. The only difference is that computer doesn't care about your feelings. It does not want to know about your feelings. Whatever you tell it to do, it does that and then it stops there. You give it garbage, it gives you back garbage. Simple. Garbage in that's where that came from. So the smart contract is we are actually expected to be smart, but it's only smart to the extent that it was programmed. So when we call it smart contract, it simply means that it's a piece of software, it's a piece of code. And then within this code, you have certain logic. For those of you that write code, you know that almost every application you use is simply a container of if-else statements. Do I have programmers in the house? If else, you know, Passam, if this one, do this one. Okay. Let's stop the echo. Testing the mic. Okay, so all right, smart contracts. So all right. Lights. Okay. Where was I? I was talking about smart contracts. All right. So with smart contracts, yes, as I said already, they are simply pieces of code. And then I already told you that with codes, especially when you are scripting, I'm not talking about web development now where you write HTML and then you write CSS. And then even JavaScript is usually compilation of if else. If this, do this. If not, do the other one. All right. So that's basically smart contract. You have codes containing these conditions, and when these conditions are met, something should happen. When these conditions are met, something should happen. A typical example will be this. We sent out a flyer. The condition is simple. If you are interested, come. Happy? If you are not interested, stay. So that could be written as a code. All right, now okay, let's now move into the application of smart contract. Look at this. If Alice wants to set up a trust fund to pay Bob $100 at the start of each month, for the next 12 months, she can program a smart contract to do this. Your parents take, for example, they send you pocket money at the end of every month. They could decide that, okay, why don't we buy this particular amount of Ether? And then by the time we've gotten it, we're going to write a smart contract that says, at the beginning of every month, check. Is it the first of a new month? If yes, move on to the next one. What are you going to do if it's the first of the month? Send $100 worth of Ether to this guy. You send it, and then this process will repeat until all the money, all the Ether I've gotten has exhausted. That's a simple application of the smart contract. All right, you see the steps. Buy a number of Ether, write a code, check the dates. Is it the first of a new month? If yes, send this particular amount of Ether to this my son. He can know how he will exchange it. I'm going to talk about exchanges as we go. You exchange it into money that you can easily spend, fiat currency. All right. I once took an airdrop class, and then as part of the schedule, one of the topics I took there was moving money from cryptocurrencies to your pockets. Moving money from cryptocurrencies to your pocket. So it's actually very, very possible. Now look at that. Smart contracts work on if this, then that principle. If this, then that principle. Now, we've said cryptocurrencies, and then we know that they are a form of digital assets. They are a form of digital currencies. And then if you are going to own these currencies, you have to keep it someplace. Since it is not fiat, you cannot get Ether and put in your pockets. You cannot get Bitcoin and put in your pockets. So how do you store these cryptocurrencies? That is where what we call wallets come into play. And then wallets are amazing. Like they abstract a whole lot of things. They make life way much simpler. Because on a normal case, if you want to interact, if you had wanted to send Ether from one Ethereum from me, if I wanted to send Ethereum from me to any other person here, the normal process is that I would have downloaded the full network of Ethereum on my computer, and that is around 400 gigabytes. I'll have to first download it on my computer, and then I'll now have to run it before I'll now be able to carry out some of these processes. But with a wallet, it makes life much, much easier for you. It tells you you don't really, it gives you a better interface, all right, to interact with the blockchain. And then for those of you that use, it's one of the reasons why a lot of persons like Windows. With Windows, everything is graphic. You have your user interface, you click, you move, you click. If you use something like Linux, you know, to install an app, code, sudo. That's why a lot of persons don't like the Linux operating system, and that is why it is majorly reserved for programmers because of that user interface issue. But with a wallet now, it makes life much, much, much easier for you. All right, it makes life much, much easier for you. It gives you an easier way to interact with the blockchain. And then when you talk about wallets, majorly there are two types. You talk about the hot wallet, and then you talk about the cold wallets. All right, and then when you talk about the cold wallets, usually the standard of measurement is this: is it connected to the internet? If it is connected to the internet, you will most likely call it a hot wallet. All right, but it's not always so, because there are certain cold wallets that you can still use to interact with the internet. There are still some of them, and then they still remain as cold wallets. All right, so usually that's the standard of judgment. Can you use it to connect to the internet? Now, with the cold storage, you cannot really use it to connect. You don't know. It's something physical, something you can see. All right. But if it's going to be a hot wallet, then it's most likely connected to the internet. It's most likely a software that you can easily run, and that's what a whole lot of us have. So that's it. A wallet is a user-friendly interface to the blockchain network. It manages your private keys, which are basically keys to lock on your cryptocurrency goods. Wallets allow you to, number one, receive, number two, to store, and then number three, to send cryptocurrencies. These three things. And then if I'm going to talk about wallets, there are three things I must talk about. Number one, your recovery fees. I'm sure a whole lot of us know of this. Number two, your private key. And then number three, your public key. Your public key is what anybody can know. The public key is what you use to receive cryptocurrencies. I want to send you 100 USDT on the TRC20 network. I will ask, send me your address. It's that simple. You go into your wallet, you copy your TRC20 network, and then you send it to me. I have your address. That is your public key. It's public. Anybody can see it. Anybody has access to it. But the beautiful thing about it is that the encryption used, because this is the way it goes. With your recovery freeze, you can have full access to your wallet. With your recovery freeze, you can get your private key, and then you can get your public key. With your private key, you can get your public key. But with your public key, you cannot get your private key and then your recovery freeze. In chemistry, how many of us are science students here? Let me know whether I should use the science example or whether I should just leave it. In chemistry, when you talk about reactions, most reactions go only forward until equilibrium is attained, and then it can go forward and backward. When you have your public key, it cannot go backward. When you have your recovery and then your private key, you can go forward and backward anyhow you like. But once it's your public, because if it was created like that, then when you send me your public key to send you money, I'll get into your account and do what I need to do about it now. You get. So instead of doing that, you talk about wallets, you talk about a recovery key, you talk about your private key, and then you talk about your public key. I wouldn't go much in depth into all of this now, majorly because of time. So types of wallets, cold wallets, hot wallets, and then specifically when you talk about hot wallets, you usually have two types. There are the custodial, and then there are the non-custodial. Custodial wallets, non-custodial wallets. All right. Okay, what are custodial wallets? These are wallets where third parties keep and maintain control over your cryptocurrencies on your behalf. A typical example will always be your exchanges, specifically your centralized exchanges. Most popular one will most likely be Binance. We talk about Binance. All the money you have on Binance, it's yours, but it's not really yours per se. I have a friend that has his Binance account locked with quite a lot of money in there. Quite a lot. All right. So Binance, in fact, when you are signing up, they are going to give you a little box. And then within the box, they will tell you, I agree to the terms and policies of Binance. And then you, without reading it, will always click that you agree, which is normal. I don't know about you, but I hardly read terms and policies. It's too long. It's too long. You can use that type for something else. Use it for something. So it's too long, actually. So you just click on it, but unknown to you, you are giving these guys the right to lock your assets if they deem it fit. Whenever they deem it fit, they can. With or without your permission, sorry, without your permission. They don't even need the permission. They will just lock it up and then it is gone. And that's why usually we always say, because the whole purpose of decentralized finance is that we want you to be your own bank. We want you to have full access of all the assets you have within your wallets. And that's where non-custodial wallets come into play. This is the one we should all be gunning for. This is the one we should all be aiming for. These are wallets where you now take full control and ownership of your cryptocurrencies. Specifically, you get to be your own bank. Nobody has access to my wallet. Why will you have access to it? Why? Which can give away? Where the giveaway come from? The Lord's giveaway is good enough for you. You get, so nobody has access to it. I'm the only one that have access to my recovery freeze. I'm the only one that have access to some private keys. I shouldn't be giving these things out. If anybody will have access to my wallets, the person can do and don't do. And the same thing should be the same thing with all of us here. you get a specific diary where you get to write some of these things down. You get to write down your recovery phrase, you write it down and then you keep it. I envision a world where in few years' time, wheels will now be diaries containing recovery phrase. Mark my word, it's come. I'll tell you facts. It is coming. Because it's our generation that will introduce this. Most of our assets are in cryptocurrencies. In as much as, yes, we buy, for those that have bought land, because I never buy, you buy land and everything. Those are nice. You get, but for a whole lot of persons, I know, majority of their assets are actually cryptocurrencies. And this is, I think, they will have to pass down to their children. And then, of course, since it's virtual, the only thing I can pass down to you will be access to the wallet where I have these things kept. So in my will, all I'll just do is I'll carry my diary. I'll see that. Imagine in the case of the Bible, when Jacob. But that's just it, Sha. So it's often better you use a non-custodial wallet. In this case, you trust no external party, and you only trust yourself to ensure that your cryptocurrencies are safe. You should, under no reason, lose your recovery phrase or your private keys. You should, under no circumstance, give them out to a third party. These things are supposed to be private. So these are just typical differentiations between custodial wallets and then non-custodial wallets. These are things I've talked on already because of time. We are supposed to have a practical setup where we set up a MetaMask wallet, but I'm not really sure it would be possible. All right. Of course, if I'm going to set it up, one thing is certain: once I'm done with it, because you will obviously be seeing my private keys and everything, and it's not something I will want you to see. Yes, it's actually not something I want you to see. So that's basically it for this session. These are some of the references I used. I think the better question is this: how many of us you do not have a MetaMask wallet here? You don't. You deleted it, but you do not have funds there, Abby. Because there is a man currently. I don't know if he has given up. He threw away a hard drive containing how many thousands of Bitcoins. He threw it away. Now he's paying people to go and excavate the area. Yeah, that's money now. I did the conversion this morning. 1 Bitcoin is still 18M. Give me like 5, I don't sit. What are you not what are you not telling me? So I don't know if I should.
All right, round of applause for our speaker, our admin this month. Please wear your cap, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I've learned a lot. So now is Q&A session. Okay. Wow. So now I'm filled. Me, I don't know what is wallet before. Now I know what is wallet. I think today now I'm going to buy Ethereum and Bitcoin. I have sha. All right, so real quick, if you have any question, just think fine. Any question, raise up your hand. One. If you have question on the Zoom channel, you should indicate as well. So you have question 2. Let's just pick sharp question 3. Okay. So real quick. a question?
Good afternoon, everyone. The question is, okay, the question I want to ask is, you mentioned about someone who lost his hardware that containing some amount of Bitcoin. Can I call that one an example of cold wallet?
No, not. It's just like this. It's just like this. I have MetaMask installed in my phone, and then I lose my phone. You get, with that MetaMask, I'm connected to the internet. With the MetaMask, I do a lot of transactions, and then all of a sudden, strongmen approaches me in a custody, and then they decide that the real owners now want to collect it from me. And then me, I'm a peaceful somebody now. So I carry it and I give it to the person. And then the person goes. Of course, if for whatever reason I have some algos, a reasonable amount of algos, and then much later on, the algos rise and rise very well, I could decide, let me track this guy and sit down one-on-one with him and all those kind of. So that's the same thing that happened with the hardware.
Second question. I point you second, please. Second. No, I point someone second. Someone second. No, you're the third.
Good afternoon, everyone. My question is basically concerning the complex equations that the miners get to solve. Where do those equations, where do they come from?
I cannot fully answer that question. I do not really know where they come. All right, but Apostle wants to answer.
Okay, so those questions are generated by the system. Do you get it now? So it's more like a mathematical question. So it's the network that generates it, not like it's being put there by someone. Do you get it now? Exactly. So that's like random questions. You get, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to ask as regards the wallet. All right, so I know of some persons that they said they've lost an amount of money due to the fact that their wallet was hacked or stuff like that. So I'm like, how do you secure your wallet? What are the best measures for securing your wallet so that it doesn't get accessed by another person? And then how do you secure your wallet so that in the future, if peradventure anything happens, you can always have access to it? So securing your wallet.
Best way to secure a wallet so that it is not hacked, go cold storage. It's really that simple. All right, go cold storage. In recent times, I think I've seen some applications that help you save your recovery freeze. This is the way it is. This is the way it is. They built it in such a way that it's encrypted. Even they, or at least they tell us that even they do not know these things. You get. But the thing is this: if you are going to secure it, best cold storage. If at all you decide you won't be going for cold. During the time when Solana really rose, there was one guy, he had around 300 souls, around 300. And then he interacted with a DEX. Unknown to him, there was a honeypot. Went in, signed transaction, 300 souls disappeared. The guy was mad. That's money. Then one soul was around $200 plus. Multiply by 300. That's money. You get. So me personally, the way I do, because I also hunt for airdrops quite a lot. I have multiple accounts I use for my airdrops. When I start noticing that this particular account is has gotten a sizable amount of airdrops, I create a new one so that I do not put the new one at risk of, well, I suffered, I did things for it. So you should not take it like that. You get, so the best way is this, create multiple wallets. And then while you are creating these wallets, I would often say, probably yearly, as the year comes to an end, review all your wallets, get back the private keys, ensure you still have them written down once per year at least. If possible, make it twice in a year. You get that will really help.
All right, so in regards that as well, you said cold storage. I want to ask my question. Can you give an example of cold storage?
It will have to be hot. Take for example now, yeah, we have the SafePal wallet. You have to order for it, and then by the time you order for it, they'll have to send it in from their manufacturers, and then by the time they send it in, you simply now connect them, and then you transfer your SFP from the hot storage to the cold storage, and that's it.
Thank you. So in regards to that as well, I think the easiest way I have multiple wallet address. I send my seed phrase, sometimes called mnemonic phrase or private key also. I just send them to, I create a mail, I send it to my mail, I save it as draft. Or part of in my mail. And also I use, because I feel like writing it, I might just, maybe it can get burnt or something. Do I do it for me? It's for easier access on my new, maybe I lost my phone. I can usually get my phone, log in again and get my details back. But I don't know how secure it is, but that's why I do it. And also maybe a Google form, a Google Notes. You can write to things there. I don't know how secure it is as well.
Good afternoon, everybody. For me, I would not suggest you backing up your private keys, your mnemonic phrase or seed phrase in a mail, because your mail can actually be hacked, and those your tokens or coins will be siphoned from your wallets. And another example of cold wallets or cold storage is there's this wallet, this hardware wallet called Nano Ledger. We have Tezor. They look like flash drives. They are cold wallets. You just get them. Then also we have paper wallets. You can just move your funds from your soft wallet or your hot wallet to paper. Just print the private keys on a paper and keep it somewhere safe. And then the idea of writing, putting your private keys, mnemonic phrase on your mails, you can just take a book or a diary and write them down carefully. It's very important. Just write them down and keep them somewhere safe. For those of us, you mentioned about in the future, wills being documents where seed phrases are written down and all of those. Once you write them down, you can maybe give it to someone who you can trust, a relative who you trust. If you have that much money, right, in your wallet and all of those, you can give to someone who you trust. Peradventure something happens to you. We're all going to die someday, right? So that is just it.
Thank you very much. Okay. Okay, I wanted to ask, I saw on the screen 800,000 Bitcoins lost, like from someone. So that Bitcoin lost. Okay, I saw on the screen 800,000 Bitcoin lost. Let me say that person that lost that Bitcoin now, and he said something about someone who threw his wallet phrase away with a lot of Bitcoin inside. So can someone actually trace it? Can the person actually trace it and gets back his Bitcoin? And again, for instance, now Binance and all these exchanges that lock accounts, can the owners of the probably the currencies inside get it retrieved again?
Once your recovery phrase or your private key is lost, it's lost. There's no you cannot recover, except there is this wallet, I think Agent X. It allows you, while signing up, it allows you add an email for recovery. I think so. I'll need to verify that. I think that's the only wallet that allows you to do that. If I'm not, I'll need to verify that information. Agent X. But for something like MetaMask, you lose your recovery phrase, you have go. Everything in there have go. Eh? It have go, that's just it. the money is where it is, but you cannot access it. And who is the owner? Tomorrow we'll be talking about decentralized finance. You guys, and then we'll talk much more into this. Our place is here. I'm sure he's going to do perfect justice to that. All right. So once it have go, it's still there, but you do not have access to it again. Nobody, and then it has gone. Concerning centralized exchanges, yes, you need to contact support. Say, for example, a few days ago, while I was trying to interact with a DEX, trying to be an early user for a DEX, because usually when you're an early user, they tend to give you some airdrop to us by the time much later on. So while interacting with the DEX, I sent some NEAR from my KuCoin account to my NEAR wallet, did my interactions. By the time I was done swapping and everything, I sent it back to my KuCoin account and it never got there. I was like, I've been at my village, people carry follow me, come here. What exactly is happening? I went straight into the NEAR scan, scanned my wallet, and I saw that actually I sent it out. It was obvious there was a withdrawal. I went into my NEAR wallet, got the centralized exchange address there, scanned it again, and then it showed that I got received. So what exactly happened? I went straight to customer support, opened the mail, talked with them. I was like, this is exactly what happened. They said I should wait 48 hours. Waiting will be while, as long as my money comes back to me, I don't mind. I waited for 48 hours, contacted them again. They were like that. Okay, I opened multiple tickets. They were like, please, I should open one ticket for my own money. I opened 20, you'll not do anything. No, it's my money. But then again, as much as I know that it's my money, I know that if they really mean me, I'm not going to see them. That's the truth. So eventually what happened, they had a maintenance of that particular node. We've talked about nodes. So in trying to maintain that node, they had to transfer all cryptocurrencies from the centralized exchange to a different wallet address. So by the time you now open a ticket, they check on the scanner, was this ever successful? If yes, they refund you your NEAR. In a few minutes, I had my NEAR back and I took it away from KuCoin.
All right, so real quick now, let's just ask question for those watching us live. Zoom, if you have a question, you can mute yourself and drop your bomb. Please, you can show us your face as well. We'd like to see your face. All right. Any question from the Zoom guys? Okay. If you do, actually, just send them on the chat box. I'm live there now. I'll check it. If there's none, over to you guys.
While my brother was speaking, something struck me. It shows that with this cryptocurrency, like you said, nobody plans to die. Nobody plans for bad things to happen to them, but it just happens. As a person, now let me know that key phrase or that password. If something happened, it just happened for road, that means it is lost for life. Nobody has access to it. Man, get a CBO.
For me, actually, at the beginning of this year, I told my brother of my diary, and then I told him where all my private keys and is my trusted. Now you get him. No, now you get him. He's my elder brother. He's my elder brother, my only brother. So he knows every damn thing about it. So peradventure anything happens to me, which is not anytime soon, he will now take over from there specifically.
If you don't trust your brother, don't tell them. Don't tell them. Your money will just go in your eye. You're just looking at it and you'll be crying. Nothing. All right, so any other question?
There was a time a friend of mine introduced me to this Ethereum thing. And we're meant to buy, was it one Ethereum? I don't know how they call it. So we should buy Ethereum with a certain amount, of which we did. And they now said, me, I will bring 2 persons. Then the 2 persons will bring another 2, you know, just like that. And they thought that they said we should create a wallet, trust wallet. Then they showed us how you can start monitoring your wallet, the progression kind of. So before I finally gave up, I was having some debt. So, but the thing is, I don't know, there was a news that now was not flying everywhere that the thing was a scam, that we should just give on. So I stopped. But somebody called again, not recently, to say, I checked that I don't know how you did it, but I checked your wallet as if somebody is monitoring notes. There is still money there, that I should bring my recovery fix. Me, I don't even know where that one is again, but right. But okay, fine. What if I can get it? I'm sure I'll look for it. What if I can get it? So what do I do from there?
When you get it?
Okay, concerning multi-level marketing, I need to say this. Multi-level marketing is actually real. A lot of persons are making money from it. Affiliate marketing and all of those. Yeah, but so what most persons do is that they now try to bring this into the cryptocurrency world. However, usually they try to bring this and then they try to bring it into the cryptocurrency world. But the problem is that their system is often flawed. The system is, you bring this person pays forward, and then we now have to depend on the other person coming from the back to pay me. The pyramid scheme. So it's seriously flawed. And I would not advise anybody to go into that. It's not wise. However, when you do get your recovery freeze and you have full access to your money, you can decide to pay tight to me. I can send you my wallet address so you can send me some money.
So real quick, you log into your, hello, ma'am, you ask the question. You log into your, with your recovery phrase, you get your wallet. You can then send the coin, the token there, to another wallet, maybe Binance, where you can exchange it for your real money. And that's it. So over to the director. All right, the director of Benin City Windows on America, Dr. Erifet. Okay, Georgina Erifeta, Dr. Georgina Erifeta, please, ma'am, you're on.
Okay, thank you very much. If you do not all mind, I would prefer to leave my video turned off. I have been at a Senate meeting in the university.
Can't hear.
And can you hear me?
All right.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, ma'am, now we can.
Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good morning, everyone. No, it's already afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
Okay, like I said, I've been on a meeting since morning. I've been at a meeting that has taken the whole day and we're still there. I had to step out to just give my closing remark. I want to start by congratulating everyone that has found the time to attend this training today. I feel that I've missed a lot because I've been looking up to this training and see how I can also find a way to cash into what is going on in the digital space as per Bitcoin and blockchain and all that. But I know that I'm not someone that leaves things that I want to achieve without ensuring that I hit on them. So I'm positive that very soon I'm going to contact Tumishi and every other person that will be willing to put me through on a one-on-one basis. The Benin City Window in America, as you can all see, is a skill acquisition center. That is what we represent. It's not our own initiative, it's the initiative of the US Department of State under the Educational and Cultural Affairs. What they have done is to partner with Ignatian University to put up this center for everyone.
Ma, we can't hear you. Your network is terrible.
Hello.
We are here, ma.
You said you were not hearing me, but I'm hearing you clearly. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Clearly. So at what point did you lose me, please?
Well, about the center, you're talking about the
space. Yeah. Okay, I was just trying to tell everyone that the space is a capacity building space. Do you understand? For everyone that wants to close up on knowledge gap, everyone that wants to gain one expertise or the other, that's the place to come to. If you have something to bring on board where you want us to partner for you to showcase what skill you have and to mentor and teach other youths in Edo State, is a space for you to come. I congratulate all of you for finding time to come for this training. Like I said, the digital space is expanding. The earlier you can cash in, the better for you. I'm also wanting to do what you are doing now. It's my desire to also cash in as much as possible. There's nothing wrong with you establishing multiple sources of income. Do you understand? So I congratulate everyone that found the time to attend this training today. I know that it has been very engaging. It has been very informative. And I know that whatever you have learned, you're going to put it on the table and ensure you increase expertise on it, which is very important. Because if you do nothing about it, whatever knowledge you've acquired today is just going to go down the drain. So the earlier you start your practice time must be now. So, Michelle, am I still with you?
Yes, it's here, ma'am.
Okay, I don't know if the attendees are hearing me.
Yes,
the time for practice on whatever you have heard or learned is now. If you don't cash in as fast as possible, your knowledge base is going to begin to increase. And with time, you'll find out that you won't be able to do anything from the knowledge garnered from this training. So the best you can do for yourself is to cash in now, use all the information that you have been given and see how you can launch out immediately. Again, the digital space is increasing. The digital currency is now the in thing. I know there are lots of fraud coming from it, but we have decided to do it the right way and teach the right skills and give the right information. This is not they want to double your money for you or something. No, this is you doing it yourself. And like I always say, the only person that can stop you is you. So it's high time we stop pointing fingers, my uncle, my auntie, my mother, my father. The only person that can stop you from reaching your goals and aspirations is you. So the earlier you wake up, the earlier you stand tall, the earlier you stand up and run with whatever information that you've been given, the better for you and the better for everyone in your circle. So again, I congratulate you. I appreciate the partners, the Yali Edo, Tumishi and his team. Thank you for bringing something to the table and ensuring that you engage and impact our youth in Edo State. I know that this is just the beginning. We're going to have more time. Thank God we are reconvening the meeting tomorrow, and people are going to better on the expertise in this aspect. I want to quickly say that aside from STEM programs like this, we have a lot of shared programs I want you to cash into. If Shofu is there, he can help me just give you the details of the timing. We have the employability webinar, where people can also learn and develop skills from experts that have gone ahead of us. We have the Speak with the Diplomats, where you can talk with diplomats from the embassy directly and ask them your questions. We have the Conversation with Alum, where people that have had opportunity to go to the US for 1 or 2 exchange programs come on board to share their experiences with you and give you the Nigerian version of their experience. Then we also have the Education USA. The Education USA is a very broad program, it's very vast, where everyone that is interested in assessing one scholarship or the other to go and school in the US, you can do that. It's not only for the undergraduate, it's also for graduate students at MSc level, at PhD level. There are more than 4,000 schools that are ready to give Nigerian scholarship. And I hope that one of you will cash in. That place is a study area. No one is going to tell you this is the school, this is it, but just come around, go into Education USA, check for the exchange programs under the US Embassy in Nigeria. You will see a lot of them under education, under exchange programs. You see a lot of them aside from the Fulbright. There are lots and lots of fellowship. As I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself. I want to see a quite number of people coming up from my center to say that I was able to access this and this and this scholarship by my interaction or engagement at the center. I don't want to take all your time. Thank you so much for coming. See us tomorrow, hopefully. And thank you to the team and the partners. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Ma. All right. Now we've been blessed from order above. Okay. So moving forward, let's just pick one more question. Okay. Mr. Shofo. Okay, let's just pick a few more questions. Then you get the survey, you fill it, and think that will be all. Then tomorrow we'll be here again to impart you on DeFi, Decentralized Finance. You don't want to miss it. Okay, so if you're on Telegram, just open your Telegram. Okay, meanwhile, before Telegram, you should do this. tinyurl.com/FinSmart. Just go to your Brave. If you use a browser that pays you, that's Brave browser. If you use Chrome, Opera Mini, or whatever. You just type tinyurl.com//YaliFinSmart. Very important, please, very important. I believe this will take us just 2 seconds. We are fast, we are genius. We are tech gurus. tinyurl.com/YaliFinSmart. Cool, catch it. When you're done, say done. Network, ash. Shofu, is there free Wi-Fi for them? Maybe tomorrow we'll come with free Wi-Fi. So please just fill it up. It's important, it's necessary. So in regards, okay, so you can as well just, after filling this, you download, not Nado. Okay, I'll tell you later. So after filling this, you go to your Telegram if you are done now. Oh, for the viewers online, Zoom, so sorry. From the viewers online. Once you just go to your browser, type in. From the viewers online, type in what you can see on your screen. It's for survey. So tinyurl.com/YaliFeeSmart. Very important. You're done? Cool. You're done? Cool. You're done? Correct. You're done, Chief. So moving on, if you have Telegram, open your Telegram and search for, no. Okay, same browser, write t.me. Okay. Yeah, Telegram group, Telegram. Yeah, so this is Telegram. You see Yali network there, please. Oh yeah, go and join the group. You don't want to miss it. I'm a part of Yali. Yeah, I'm a member of Yali. I'm a proud member of Yali. Yali Network Edo. And you join the FeeSmart community where you get information about the crypto space, the blockchain, airdrops, whatever, and you learn a lot. You don't want to miss it. So guys, just join the group. It won't take you 2 seconds. Telegram is quite an amazing platform. From time to time, we do a meeting. Let's say, okay, we'll do a session, Telegram session. We have airdrop session, airdrop group. We have for crypto, we have for this, we have for that, we have for arbitrage and all that, where you can actually get more info on them. And also make sure you join Yali Network Edo. Yali Network, so that you can get information on when we have our next physical meeting. And you come, you'll be part of Yali. Yes. So that'll be that for that. So I just wanted to chip in something. I should not be the only person benefiting from it. You can. Okay, you can download Brave browser. If you download Brave browser, you use it instead of Chrome. Brave browser, Brave, and you get paid in Brave token, BAT. Their token is called BAT. You get paid in that token. Instead of wasting your data for Chrome, you can, Brave. Brave, BRAVE. So you just use that to solve the net, watch YouTube video, watch anything, and they'll pay you monthly according to the usage. So they're not sponsoring this show, but I just want you guys to benefit from it. Brave browser, just go to your Brave. Yeah, that's BRAVE. Yes, head of tiger or something, or lion. Orange. After every month, we'll keep getting from. So I believe that's that for that. Brave browser, yes. BRAVE browser. Type it on your Google Play or your iOS store if it's there. So just sign up and everything. I believe that'll be that for this session. And okay, Shofa has something to chip in. Please make sure you connect to each other, guys. It's very important. No, we are the future. Connect to each other so that your network is your network. People will be the one to give you or refer you to a job. Yeah. So please just connect to each other, get your numbers, to social media, and do all that. It's important. And take pictures together.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I just want to finish up what my director started as regards the programs that we have at the Benin City Window on America. She has told you a bit about it. And like she said, we have standardized programs which hold the same day every month. So for the Education USA, which she mentioned, it's every Wednesday. We have a counseling or an advice session every Wednesday
10 a.m. to 12 noon. Here we have we connect with other centers across Nigeria, and you get to learn firsthand what is required of you to study in the USA, your visa application, your student processing, choosing a school, choosing a course, scholarship opportunities, and lots more. And as regards Speak with a Diplomat, every last Thursday of the month, we always have a diplomat from the US consulate or US embassy in Abuja, or maybe somewhere from the world, anywhere across the world, join us and share with us their experience, and you get the opportunity to ask questions if you're interested in going into the diplomacy world, or if you have personal questions as regards. I remember the day we had a rep from the visa application section in the US consulate. A lot of questions came in that day as regards why their visas was rejected, what they should do to get better response from the visa office. So these are opportunities for you to interact with the consulate staff one-on-one. Then we also have conversation with an alum. It holds every third Friday of every month. Yes, every third Friday of every month. We have people, Nigerians, who have gone for different exchange programs. In Yali, we have 2 exchange programs, the ROLC, which is the Regional Leadership Center for a 6-week course in Ghana. Then we have the Mandela Washington Fellowship, a 3-month course, exchange program course in US. So people like that, and people who have also gone through other exchange programs like the Fulbright Scholarship and all, they come share their experience and also give us an insight to what they are doing in the society after their training. And lastly, we also have the employability webinar. The employability webinar holds every last Monday of the month. Every last Monday of the month. And these programs I just referenced, they start at 10 a.m. every Thursday, last Thursday of the month, third Friday of the month, last Monday of the month, which is for the employability webinar. The employability webinar, we have someone, an expert in a particular industry. We've had someone from the agricultural industry, someone that was into soilless farming. We could also have someone from the blockchain world come talk to us more about blockchain. And everybody in Nigeria, all American centers or all American spaces, we connect and we interact with the speaker. If you have any question, we ask and get more insight into that particular industry. And lastly, I would like to direct us to Facebook. If you're on Facebook, you could quickly search for American Spaces Nigeria. American Spaces Nigeria, you see something like this. Please, if you can just share one of the, share one of the web. Okay, from here, just click on that, your steps to US tab. Study up, yes. So you can type Facebook and search for the American Spaces Nigeria. This is the Education USA website in case you want to get first-hand information. So American Spaces Nigeria, yes. So this is where we upload all that we do. Our sessions from today and tomorrow, definitely we are going to capture it and report it on this platform. It's a unified platform for all American spaces, and it's controlled directly from the US consulate. So here you get first-hand information of opportunities. If you scroll down, you'll find 2020 Opportunity Funds Program. So I just want to tell you guys about this. Yes, that's the page. Currently, Education USA application is open for people who scored really high in their WAEC. If you have your A's, your B's, or if you have your first class or your 2-1, this is a scholarship opportunity. Applications are currently on. So if you can take advantage of this opportunity. The selection criteria is stated, and you can just go to the link stated there opportunityfundsnigeria.org. If it's not you, if you know someone, the person can apply and possibly you get the opportunity. I know someone, one of my senior colleagues, she's in the US now doing a PhD. She had first class, so she applied for PhD directly. If you have your first class, you can apply for PhD directly. And she's in the US. She arrived in February, and she went through Education USA. So please take advantage of that. And that's all for me. Thank you very much.
Mr. Gideon Philip, want to address you guys. Yearly president.
Thank you guys for coming. I really want to appreciate you guys for coming. When I was making the presentation earlier on, so many persons were not around. When I was telling us about Yali, yes, ma'am. All right. When I was making the presentation earlier on, many of us were not here. When I was talking about Yali, I was telling us about Yali. Our time is fast spent, but we'll make the presentation again tomorrow morning. But please, so try and come early. I think we'll start by 10 on the dot. 10 on the dot. I'll make another presentation tomorrow to tell you what we do in Yali, what Yali is about, what you can benefit in Yali without paying €1. We don't pay money in Yali. Our daddy is there. It's not like there's age limit somewhere, but then what you just need is your commitment. Just show up. All right. So basically, we'll be making presentation, but YALI means Young African Leaders Initiative. I started by saying this morning that we are all leaders. It's either you're a good leader or you're a bad leader. So what we do in YALI is basically to groom you to become good leaders in different spheres of life, in your academy, in your career. We are all leaders, and it's a space for people who wants to win. If you know you don't want to win here, just raise your hands. You don't like winning. Let me see your hands if you don't like winning. It's that you want to win in your academic, finance. There are many sectors you want to win, and of course, everybody wants to win. So please make it on time here tomorrow, so we can start together and we can be on the same page while the train moves. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, sir. President, thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks, sir. All right, so thank you, guys. Thank you, every one of you, for being around. It's been a pleasure to impart you guys the knowledge we have, the little knowledge. Please, guys, do more research on the blockchain. Use YouTube, use Google, just explore the internet. Get yourself prepared for the future. You are the future, actually. So that will be all for that. And thank you once. Please, no extra time for coming late too. If you just once it's 10, it's 10. We just start. Please don't come late tomorrow. So thank you. That'll be all for now. And see you tomorrow. Goodbye, guys. Round of applause for me. Round of applause for me now. I'll cry you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah. Yes.
Wait, for those online, they should help us turn on their video feed. Let's do it.
All right. People online, our Zoom guys, please turn on your video. Once you want to take a group camera, so to turn on your. All right, real quick, please, guys. If you can hear me, you can hear this voice. Please turn it on. Your video, not your audio, to your video. So we just take a real quick selfie with you guys. You know, chill with the big boys. Endowed. Will I say you're endowed in beauty? Thank God. I'm a guy, shall no homo, man. So you guys turn it on, turn it on. Real quick. Sunday Oga. You are the Oga here. Please, guys, just turn it on. We'd like to see those faces. Samsi Oga. I cite you, sir. Well done, boss. I beg, please, tomorrow take a flight to Benin, I beg. All right, you guys, turn it on, turn it on. We need more view. Ah, Mrs. Pamela. I cite you there, ma. Frederick Ahmed. How I pronounce your name right? Cite you, Esther Mitty. Cite you there. Thank you, thank you. Please keep turning it on, turning it on. I want to take a very, very nice selfie, you know. I want to chill with the big boys. We are going viral, you know. Don't worry about your village people. We are going viral. They're not going to stop us. Keep turning it on. We are the future. Blockchain, the future. We are the leaders of tomorrow. Turn the lights on, turn the lights on. Please turn it on, guys. All right. For those that did not turn your lights on, you've missed the group selfie. We'll see you, Sha, tomorrow. We'll see you again. All right, that'll be that for that. Thank you once again. So we need a group photo here now. So how's it gonna be? Outside will be better. So we are going outside. Sorry for my Zoom, guys. You can.
I can still take one here with everybody. Let's have the screen smart thing stand in the eye.
All right. Face Martin, where is Apostle of Finance? Okay, uncle. So you guys stand, yeah. Okay, come on. Let me stand with my bosses. My boss is there.